Beard culture. I cut my way out podcast. Tune us in. We on the grind like. I put the clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. Yeah, I put the clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. I used to dream as a kid on the porch of the crib and make it big and one day endorse where I live. Hard times.
And welcome back to the I Cut My Way Out podcast. I am at Kenneth Jinks, and I am joined by my gracious brother, patient brother. It's been a long time. Give them your addies, because you the Jordan of the podcast.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Great to come back, man. We have a really nice show. I was excited when I was able to tune in and tap in with these brothers to get them back on. I'm Ashra Knox. I am the barber of the podcast. You can catch me on Instagram at Beard Culture Barber 4 on Instagram. So that's where I'm at. So go ahead.
And we can be seen everywhere. We definitely rusty, but thank you for all the people that have been listening, following. We done gave you a lot of time to catch up on some of these episodes. So hope you caught up. We are back.
Right.
And we are definitely glad to be back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot. I'm a football ref, so football is my money maker. That's my, and a lot of times when we started it, I had a whole lot of time because I was pandemic work from home, and for the camera I use that in quotes. Y'all know how it go. So just the window to just record it has been kind of slim, but to all our listeners, I hate to use the term fans, but all our listeners, I'll just say, I've been motivated, been talking to my brother. We've been coming up with ideas, and today we kicking it back off.
Absolutely.
Got some great guests. The good thing that I like to say before I turn it over to you is when we were talking about bringing the show back and just introducing new concepts.
Right.
When we came up with the concept, and today's show, it just seemed like these three brothers just stuck out in our mind as far as guys that personally showed us love. We're excited to come on the show.
Just excited to come on as we were.
Exactly. So
yeah, absolutely. Everything was authentic. They were transparent and hungry. And so that's the thing. So for me, we had talked and we kind of ran down our three separately and then brought it back and had the exact same three. Man, I'm a big fan of you guys and what you do. You guys motivate me. I watch you guys a lot. When I contacted you, of course, Shy, we came in contact, small world, knowing some of the guys, mutual relationships, but man, a small world. And ever since, man, I stay tapped into you guys, communicate here and there. And so today, our guests that we have, their return guests, it's been maybe about a year, but enough time to get back with them to just talk about what's going on. Everybody making
all of
moves.
Us,
I'm making progress and doing some new things. So I'm excited to talk about that. So man, with no further ado, man, we're gonna let you guys come on, introduce yourself. So Mr. AO, we'll start off with you, and like I said, we'll just go introduce yourself, give your Instagram information, and let's get it cracking.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Austin Holloway. I go by AO. You can follow me on Instagram at AO_D_Ace_of_fades. Just happy to be here, man. Happy to be a part of this, man. This is a beautiful thing. I always supported you guys. Y'all guys reached out, man. I was super excited when you called me.
I appreciate it. So, next up, Shad. Tell them who you are, where you at. Also, Ayo,
What's
let
going
them
on?
know before
let
we
them know
get
what's
to
going
Shad.
on with you.
Ayo, let them know.
Yeah.
Hold on, Ayo, let them know where you're from as well.
I'm from McGee, Mississippi, but I handle my business up in Ridgely, Mississippi. That's where I'm cutting at. I have plans to relocate to Atlanta.
Okay.
Sometime soon or later, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. But right now I'm in Ridgely, Mississippi doing my thing. So like I said, I've been doing it for a minute, been cutting. Majority of my life I've been cutting for, like I said, I've been cutting since I was like 11 or 12 years old. I've been in it for a long time. I don't went from the kitchen to the porch, to the garage, to the basement. You can name it. You know, I done did it everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
So now I'm just using my gifts to build myself a platform and inspire everybody across the world who love doing this just as much as I do.
That's what it is. All right. Next up, Shy, holla at us. Let everybody know what's good.
What's up? What's going on, good people? I'm Shot a Barber, that's CHY, the Barber, your friendly neighborhood barber, representative of Studio 312. I'm here located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, by way of Chicago, Illinois. Man, we really just trying to change the face of barbering for a small town where I'm at, man. It's a lot of things that we trying to bring to the game to make it understood that barbering is a career. It's not a hustle. And we focusing right now on education, promotional branding, and understand how to facilitate professionalism. So that's what I represent. That's what I'm here to push.
That's what's up.
Hold on, Sean. Hold on now. Hold on.
You got to drop the bombs on.
You said by way of Chicago, Illinois. You done been gone that long. You know the S is silent.
Hey, nah, man. Illinois, man. Illinois.
No, it's all good. Yeah, man. I most certainly have been seeing the progress. Like you said, you opened up your own shop since we last talked, and you know, got a lot going on. So as the show go on, we definitely want you to tie that into our topic. So thanks for coming back, and definitely excited, you know, to really chop it up with you about a lot of things. So
definitely, like Ayo said, bro, I was excited like a schoolgirl when I got that call. Like, what?
Yeah. And the last time, you know, we just had pretty much a phone call. So to be on Zoom and put name to face, and you know, for all the listeners, is definitely dope.
Yes,
so
yeah,
definitely.
All right. Last but not least, Suge, man, holla at him. Let him know what's up.
Well, they call me Suge the Barber. My name is Sejan Judkins. I won't go into that because I know it's a little complicated. But they call me Suge the Barber, aka I Create Confidence. Hail from Detroit, Michigan. Even though I started cutting here in Alabama, and I like to say I got my bones in Dallas, Texas, and then I brought all that back home to my peoples. Shop is in Detroit. I like to say right now, focus wise, I'm in murky waters right now because I like to say I finally discovered my gift, and it's not cutting hair. And maybe we'll get into it later on. The barbering portion for me is the conduit through which I can use my gift, so to speak, and I love it. Definitely happy to be back on the show. Love you guys. I can't appreciate you guys enough for giving me a platform to talk my little talk the last time, and this time around, I'm just looking forward to a great conversation once again.
Absolutely. We greatly appreciate it, man. Like we said, happy to have you guys on. So, man, let's jump into it, man. And you know, however you jump out there. So since the last time, you know, that we've had you on interview, and I've watched all you guys make progress. So just tell the listeners kind of each of you since then what's kind of been going on in any order. Whoever want to jump out there. I know Ayo, when we first started communicating and following, man, I've watched your following on Instagram just leap, you know what I mean? And just inspire me just to continue to get out there, you know, trying to push content, trying to continue to learn, man. So let us know what's been good with you guys in terms of just the craft and how it's worked out for you guys and what you've been able to do, you know, since a year ago, especially with the pandemic. And one thing that I've noticed, the growth in a pandemic, a lot of career fields can't say the same. You know what I'm saying? So just you know, let us know what's been going on, man.
Man, the pandemic, if you was any type of hustler, any type of, you know, had any type of grind about yourself, like the pandemic made you get up off it. Like the pandemic made you really buckle down and realize what you really care about, what you really love. Like everything like that can be taken away from. So now you got to take every opportunity to go hard each and every day. Like you got to go hard every day. Like you can't take, because you never know, something like that can happen again tomorrow or the next day. Like the pandemic, it threw me because it was something like I was never prepared for, you know. I mean, it wasn't about when I had money sitting up, but it was more off of like I wasn't cutting hair. Like cutting hair is like my outlet. Like it's something I can do. I could be going through the worst times, and I get in the shop, and it seems like I get like tunnel vision, like everything drowned out. Like once I get those clippers, get the moving, it's like everything is gone. Like everything's gone. I didn't have that, and it was like, and I wasn't trying to have nobody come to my house, get a haircut. I wasn't trying to do traveling around and doing that because I was scared of COVID. So I really sat in the house, enjoyed my family, enjoyed the time with my boys, enjoyed the time that I was really missing with them at that time from working so hard. But it taught me that you gotta push it. Even before the pandemic, I wasn't posting on social media. Like I was known for word of mouth. Like in my city that I was cutting in at the time, a lot of people knew me because somebody get a haircut and they might go to the nearest store or the nearest mall or the nearest gas station and somebody be like, man, hey, who cut your hair? Like, who is your barber? And my name was popping through there. Like I was known from at least out from a highway from north to south from where I was just because I just word of mouth. But I always was influenced by social media. A lot of barbers that I followed on social media influenced me to do some of the stuff I did. So once I did take the leap and decided I want to do the social media thing, it was like a lot of the mannerisms, a lot of the ideas were already instilled in me because I had seen it. I had done seen it. I had set up and watched it. I took cuts I seen people do here and there, and okay, let me put my touch on. Let me see if I can do it. See how I look if I do it. This and that. And once I stepped on it, once I just really just got out there and just started doing it, it just seemed like it just came natural. Like I don't even like really just pay attention to the following and stuff like that. Like it came like it kind of came out of nowhere. It wasn't something I was expecting, you know. So I always know in my mind I was good, but I never really just walk around like I know I'm the greatest. I know I'm the GOAT. I'm this and that. I never put myself in that category. I might talk a little noise here and there every now and then, but I knew I was special. I know that for sure. Right. No doubt. You know, I just didn't know. I didn't know exactly how I was going to put that in perspective for everybody to gravitate towards it. Right. Put it like that. I didn't know how I was going to take it and make people want to be inspired. People want to look at me and be like, okay, this guy loves what he does. He obviously does because look at his work, look at his grind, look at his ethic. So I wanted to take that and make people do the same. I want people to break the knob on what they do. I want, whether you cutting hair, whatever you're doing, I just wanted to be an inspiration to the next person.
Right. And when you say that, it's really a way of giving back. You talked about how other barbers have inspired you, and then you know sure. you've hit, you know, your incline and you're going and now you're giving back and doing the same. That's what's up.
Yeah, I had a guy reach out to me last night.
Mm-hmm.
He had, when I first started, when I first moved, when I switched locations and I first got my buzz, I remember him messaging me. He was like, bro, I'm in school for business, bro. But I have a passion for cutting hair. I love cutting hair. And he's like I think I want to say he's like in the UK, or I know he's in another country.
Wow.
And he was like, what should I do? And I was like, bro, you got to make that decision on what you want to do. It depends on how much you want. I said, if you love what you do, you'll never have to work a day in your life. You know what I'm saying? He popped up on me last night. He sent me a message. He said, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I definitely remember because the conversation was saved. And I remember what we talked about.
Right.
He said, I know you don't remember, you may not remember me, but I took your advice. When I talked to you, I was at 1,000 followers. He said, I'm about to touch 10K hopefully next week. Mm. He was like, I just want to let you know you inspired me so much, man. It really, it was such a different feeling because I remember being that person. I remember being that guy that was telling barbers that, telling people like how much they inspired me, which they did, and a lot of barbers still do. Right. And they actually reached back. And now it's like it's full circle. Now I'm seeing like this guy came back to me and let me know like dude, you really inspired me. And it just let me know that I'm on the right path. Like this is my gift. This is my purpose. Like I want to inspire the next person. What is to you see me, you want to get money. You see me, or you want to be the best barber. You see me, you want to be just appreciative of your craft and just be grateful for everything, like just your craft. Because I'm telling you, like this gift that we're blessed with, it really has no limitation. No doubt. Like I done seen barbers go from barbers to actors to comedians to rappers to real estate agents. Like this door right here that we have, it can open up in so many ways, like so many outlets. And we come across so many people that do so many different things. Like you might cut a preacher, a doctor, a dentist, right? All people of all professions, you know what I'm saying? It ain't too many jobs like this that allow you to connect with those type of people on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. That's what real talk. Yeah. Real talk. That's what's up.
And then you definitely putting in that work as somebody that's a client. I mean, not a barber. All of y'all just really doing your thing.
Grind. So yeah, y'all on the grind for real. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I hit my tough roads being, as Sha said, being in a small town. And in terms of the barber game, it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Just about understanding that it's a career and can be a trampoline to catapult you to different areas. And I don't think a lot of barbers really look at it and take it that way. And so you guys and watching other barbers is where I continue to grab that inspiration from, you know what I'm saying, and appreciate the craft and love what I'm doing. So again, I appreciate that. Since we last talked, Shy, tell us what's going on with you, man.
Man, it's so much, man. I got so many irons in the fire right now, dude. It's still surreal. Sometimes I wake up and I gotta go through and look at all these upcoming events and upcoming things and what's working and what's in motion for the shop. Okay. That it's a blessing, man. God doesn't
talk about the shop. Because a lot of people.
I am.
Okay.
I am. Okay. I am, definitely. When it came to the shop, man, we like last time we talked, it was just an idea. You know, right. It was an idea. It was something that I wanted, something that I knew was what was right for me. Like Suge was saying before we really started recording, you know, people have to understand that you have to know what's the best situation for you. For me, I'm a social person and I like to sow into people. I'm the type of person that I'm not sufficient at planting one seed and watering that seed. I'm the type of person, I have to plant a garden. I have to water a garden in order to really be able to put all my value into things that I associate myself with. So I knew for me going into a suite, although it could have been more profitable, it probably could have been an easier transition, a faster transition. It wasn't going to be sufficient for what I needed to be fulfilled in this industry. Right. For me, I knew that I wanted to create a space where I could allow people like myself, like-minded individuals who were interested in becoming something more than just he cut hair.
Right.
So for me, I had to open up a space and create it because it didn't exist in this small town, man. It's a lot of amazing barbers here, but it's not a lot of amazing barber shops or a lot of amazing business practices within those shops here.
Okay.
So in order to see that or be a part of that, I knew it was something that I would have to kind of be the explorer on and go out and create it. So I prayed, I talked to you, I even called you on some business advice, man.
Right.
And I soaked up everything. I remained a sponge, man.
No doubt.
And I prayed, and God doesn't just bless; He bless in abundance, man. He's a giver of favor, and I've been walking in favor ever since we had that conversation, man. I opened this shop, I done filled it up. We actually in the process of expanding so that we can get a couple of stylists in here and get them opportunities. Right now, since they changed a lot of the laws with the state board here, I'm in the process of receiving my educator's license so that I can formally educate, because I've been educating since I've been in the industry, but it's not because I had the know-how as far as how to educate people. But again, it takes for me to water a garden to feel that I'm adding any value. So when guys would come and talk to me about things, I may not be able to tell you what's the best way to be a barber, but I may be able to give you a perspective on how to approach the business as a professional or as a man. I may be able to give you some perspective on how you can better deal with circumstances and situations in your personal life that may bleed over to your professional life. So with that being the case, man, this is what this shop is giving me, an opportunity to be something more to the community than just somebody that dirty up the floors.
Absolutely. That's what's up. Powerful.
Real powerful.
Yeah. And
Appreciate that, man.
You know, and I listen to us, and we have conversations, and the truth is we're so much more than barbers. And I think Suge, he's gonna go into what he's doing, but I think just starting it off when we were first talking, that through this, even though he's as great as he is at what he does, has found his passion through cutting hair. Now, I'm going to also say that I think God has gifted each individual with more than one gift and purpose. Is just our job to tap into it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes being exposed to those avenues allows us to tap into it. So Suge, let us know what's good with you and what you've been doing since the last time we've interviewed you.
Most stuff, man. Since when you interviewed me last, I think we were kind of fresh out of the thick of the pandemic, so to speak.
Right.
And at that point, I had built a website and I was getting into the product game, and I realized I hate fulfillment. If you don't know what fulfillment is the practice of delivering the product, and everything outside of just selling the product is fulfillment.
Right.
And I was in love with it during pandemic because it gave me something to do when I wasn't in the shop.
Okay.
I'm in my kitchen whipping up witch's brew for your beard, literally. I studied for years different oils and all this type of stuff. I was ordering the bottles, I made the labels, I printed the labels, I put the labels on, I poured the oil, and then I got to take it to the post office and make sure the tracking is good, run the website, and that was all good and fine until we got back in the shop.
Okay.
And then as soon as we got back in the shop, it was like, yo, I still want to make these sales online, because the whole premise of it was, I need to know what it's like to make passive income. I want to wake up and look at invoices.
No doubt.
Because that's what wealthy people do. And
no doubt.
I got that little high and everything, and it was all good, like I said. And when we got back in the shop, it was like, okay, I'm home from cutting and I don't feel like doing anything else right now. You know what I'm saying? It was like, everybody, like, I still was selling my beard oil because my clients was eating it up. I sold out at the shop, so I sold my product, but then I just didn't feel like making no more.
Okay.
So I chilled out. I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to go ahead and spend that bag and get like a chemist to, make this better and delegate that part of the business to somebody else or whatever. So I'm in process of doing that right now, working with a cosmetic chemist that I met through my wife. And she's helping me abundantly in that area. And I can't wait to release that, but it got to be right.
We're going to have to chop it up. Yeah.
Most definitely. And then outside of that, I have been going through this phase where, man, I wasn't sleeping good. And people have to understand there's a big difference between sleep and rest. I was getting sleep, but I wasn't getting no rest. I could sleep for 8 hours and wake up and feel like I ain't go to sleep at all because my mind wouldn't shut off, and I could not figure out why. For the life of me, I don't know if everybody on here is Christian. If you're not, it's all good. But I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, if you're trying to tell me something, can you just tell me so I can not feel like I'm always working all the time? Right. And once I finally got to a quiet place and figured it out, what I got to was, hey, your gift ain't cutting hair. And there was an epiphany moment. And it was like, okay, well then if my gift ain't cutting hair, what's my gift? I had to go back to where it all started for me. And where it all started for me was in the Salvation Army in 2013 when I started cutting hair, because my homegirl just wanted me to help her with her event. And she was a cosmetologist. What I fell in love with was not cutting hair. I fell in love with talking to people. Right? And I kept going back for 8 months straight for free. Every Sunday, I couldn't wait to get out of church to go cut hair because I needed those conversations. At that point, they were more so ministering to me than I was to them, because I'm calling myself depressed because I can't pay my rent on time. I might not be able to pay my car note, or might not have that much money for food, or whatever the case may be. But the person sitting in my chair is telling me, yeah, man, I'm glad I got here on time so I could eat today. Or it was like, if they didn't get there by 4:30, they might not have got a hot meal. If they didn't get there by 6, they might not have had a bed to sleep in because it's only a certain number of beds for that night. And that person that's dealing with that is smiling at me. Or a lot of people don't know Salvation Army has one of the biggest drug abuse programs in the nation. Most of the time if you go to court for a drug issue and you got to go to rehab, most states are going to send you to a Salvation Army funded program. And some of those guys I was cutting, they're like, yeah, man, if I don't get it right this time, I'm going to jail. They're going to judge say, going to give me 20 years. Or you're going to give me life if I don't get it right this time. This dude is smiling because he's like, I'm going to get it right this time. Or, you know what I mean? And I gained, a lot of inspiration from that. And then fast forward to, me learning, I'm cutting and all this other stuff. I started to realize that people would just open up to me in my chair. But people were opening up to me long before I ever started cutting hair. It just was, I call that's my gift. People just open up to me. I don't know what to call it, but they do. And I'm the vault. I don't tell everybody's business.
They call it anointed. Ain't that what they call it? Anointing?
That's exactly what they call it.
Right.
And that's all right with me. I receive it.
And on the back end of that, in the street, they say real recognize real. One thing that I noticed when we interviewed you, you were one of, and to be honest, you three, and that's what really struck out. But your personal story of what you went through, you were one of the most transparent individuals that we interviewed.
And vulnerable.
And vulnerable as well.
Yeah.
And when you're willing to spill that part out to people, you know what I'm saying? They'll give it back in return. And like that's it. That's an anointing. You know what I mean? You can't be willing to find out everybody else's business, but not give anybody else anything in return.
And I have absolutely no problem telling my business because I'm not ashamed of it. Right. And there's a long story that goes along with that. But I find strength in vulnerability where most men you say vulnerable and they're like, no, not me, nigga. And it's all good. Yeah. You go ahead and be that. I don't have no reason. I don't, I'm cool with being vulnerable. Right. I'm cool with being emotional and all that other stuff because I know how to control my emotions.
And those are human characteristics, bro.
Most deaf.
You know?
And what I arrived at, I said, okay, well, the next question is, okay, well, Lord, because I was talking to my pastor about this, and I'm like, man, he like, how you doing? You know how somebody just noticed something ain't right about you, what's going on, and you trying not to say nothing. He got me real good. So I told him, I said, man, I know what my gift is now, blah, blah, blah. I said, so now the question is, Lord, what do I do with this? He said, that's what's been keeping you up at night, because you need to figure out what to do with what God has revealed to you. And what I figured out, I said, okay, if everybody gonna open up to me, everybody gonna come talk to me. First idea I had, I said, well, what if I could open up a shop where all of the barbers are certified counselors or therapists, so to speak? That's a long game, because in order to do that, you got to have a master's degree, so to speak.
Right.
But the way I'm like, okay, now is there a way around this? You can get certain types of certificates that will still allow you to be able to be that counselor, so to speak, because people gonna come and they're gonna talk to us anyway. And I'm like, okay, well, if you niggas ain't gonna go to the therapist, but y'all gonna come talk to me, why don't I become the therapist?
Right.
Because for me, I create confidence is about way more than just you being confident about how you look. I create confidence when I came up with that moniker. It was never just about hair. I loved it because I'm like, man, I could go in so many different directions with this. And the direction that I've consistently been going in is building people while they're in my chair. Because if you ain't gonna come to, I'm an ordained elder and all that good stuff, but y'all know me, y'all know I'm well balanced. But I'm like, everybody that need me ain't gonna come to this church house. So why don't I make myself available in different facets? So I'm now seeking out different types of, whether it be life coach certificates or Christian counseling or any type of counseling that I could get a certificate in. Because some people are like, you don't need no certificate to do that. No, you don't necessarily need a certificate. But for me, what that knowledge does is better equips me to be able to help the people in my chair.
Absolutely.
So if this person is actually dealing with a real deal disorder, now I have the knowledge to notice it and say, hey, you need to go see my friend, Dr. Such and Such. I can help you this far, but this is as far as I can take you, because I need us to get out of the shop and be healed. We're gonna come. I'm tired of us going to the shop and we talk just enough to make it through the day, but then it's right back on us tomorrow. If we're gonna be healers, let's heal. And that's the mission that I'm on right now. No matter how hard or how long that it takes me, that's where I'm at in the next phase of my career as far as a barber. Because I'm like, it can't be my destiny to just stand behind this chair and cut hair and just take my price up for the next 5 to 10 years. That's not gonna make an impact. You know what I'm saying?
I think that is absolutely awesome.
Thank you, man.
Awesome, bro. Because you actually are moving forward in this industry with something that has plagued this industry for a long time that people just aren't aware of because no one is openly discussing it. The barber has been the neighborhood counselor, liaison, social worker, babysitter, father figure, psychiatrist, doctor, lawyer, forever. So to take that and move it forward into, okay, well, let me get some certification behind this ability to communicate with people and allow men, because grown men come in your shop, sit in your chair, and they open up to you because they've built a relationship with you and trust what you have to say. They trust your opinion. They trust your guidance. They trust your counsel. So to be able to take that further and say, well, listen, bro, I've heard what you've been talking about for years. And I think that you could stand to benefit from going to talk to a professional. And I have a professional you could talk to, somebody within my quote unquote network, right?
Right.
Because as African-American men, I'm only going to go to somebody within our network. We're not going to go and source those things. It's hard as a human being. It's hard enough as a human being to admit that you're broken. It's even harder as an African-American man to admit that you're broken and be willing to go out and source a way to fix that brokenness inside of you. So to have another man holding you accountable to fix and repair yourself and care about you enough to just care about your well-being beyond how you look and how you feel sometimes, but really fix you emotionally, bro. That's beautiful, bro.
And see, my thing, as far as the barbershop ethic over the years, even the barbershop ethic where the man, especially the black man, that was supposed to be the one place where we could come and be equal and be honest, the one thing you still couldn't be in the barbershop was broken in front of everybody.
Exactly.
Your barber had to take you outside and talk to you and go
exactly
there. And I'm like, man, F that. Let's get it in right here. Because there's 6 chairs in this dang on shop, and y'all, all 6 of y'all Negroes sitting in this chair got some deep, messed up stuff going on. And you sitting up here trying to be Superman, but you Clark Kent. And you don't want to admit that you Clark Kent, because Clark Kent got to go home. He got to make up his bed. He got to take out the garbage. Clark Kent don't fly through no dang on skies. It's not possible. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's why I was saying earlier, I'm really trying to figure out, do I want to open up a shop or should I stay private? That's what I was hinting at when I was saying that before the camera started rolling, because where I'm going, I still got, I went private because I was doing man weaves, not knowing God was saying, you just don't know what I'm trying to do yet. Because if I open up, because I have to figure out how to market and how to package this also, because I'm not going to just, I'm a marketer like, hey, look, I'm your barber counselor. No, really, come see me and we're going to talk, because I've also realized I have an uncanny ability to let people come sit in my chair and be comfortable being whoever they are. Gay, you gay, be all the way gay. I don't care about that. You see that picture of my wife and my kids, that's where I'm at. I'm here to cut your hair and help you develop however I need to help you develop. So that community has opened up to me in a different type of way because of how I've treated it. The drug dealers have opened up to me a different type of way. The businessmen, they've all opened up to me a different type of way. So I'm like, okay, I might need to keep this private. So if I do open up a shop, it may need to be private suites and I have an open area. It's a lot of different ideas. And that's why for me, I like to talk. That's why I'm in the area that I'm in. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna talk through, it's like brainstorming. Like that's really what I'm doing in my head right now.
Definitely.
Even by saying it, brainstorming the different ways I can do it. And then seeing how I could open it up and push it to where we have a society of us barbers that we all do this. Not just in Michigan, not just in Illinois, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? There is at least one shop where you can come and you know, man, I could really get it off my chest in this shop and not be scared that somebody gonna call me a sissy or, you know, whatever you call a beta male or all that other bull crap and, or whatever. And it's like, you know, it'll be real dope. You know what I'm saying? If it can happen, I don't know how far down the line. I'm trying not to get too excited, because when you get too excited, sometimes you make a move out of that, and you know, I'm trying to be patient with this. You know what I mean? Plus, it's a lot of red tape.
Beautiful concept, right?
Failure teaches you how to succeed.
Right.
Yep.
Beautiful
Failure
concept,
teaches you how
man.
to succeed, man.
Because we live in so we're in Champaign, Illinois. So we're about 132 miles south of Chicago. And so with this being a small town, when you're seeking out counseling as a Black man, it's really hard, you know what I mean? Especially when you come from backgrounds that you didn't have a lot, you know, you're going to sit down with people who don't relate to what you've been through. It's hard to feel that connection, you know what I mean? And you go get, you know, the average person goes and gets their hair in our community, gets their hair cut where they feel comfortable, and they get it cut by who they feel comfortable by. You know, I've seen some barbers that aren't very good barbers, and I'm not trying to knock anybody, but once you gain that relationship goes a long, long way, you know, and that's important, man. I think that's a genius idea, man. I do.
Listen, bro, that's you got an opportunity with that, man, to pioneer something so monumentous in this industry that's going to spill outside of this industry, that it could seriously affect that whole stigma that African American people don't source counsel. We don't source professional help. Right. You could really break that stigma with that, man, because just imagine, even if you started in the suite and you create it and master it under your own personal space where you create that privacy for your clientele base. If you put yourself in a position to master that and then start teaching guys like Ayo, myself, Osh, and all the other barbers around you, you are going to start something, bro, that will make it a normacy to seek professional help when you need it. Because like Osh just said, a lot of guys in these communities, in these broken areas of the world, they seek that professional counsel from other broken people because they're comfortable with them. But you can't you can get some things from talking to a broken person, but are you going to get repaired from brokenness? You're not. It's not going to happen. A broken person can teach you how to put band-aids on real good, but they won't teach you how to fix it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
No doubt. Wow.
Bro, that's whatever you need. I'm 100% behind that, bro.
Right.
100% behind
I
that.
appreciate it.
I
I'm
ain't
trying to
gonna
be quiet because I could talk about this all day.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. This is my first time being on camera with you, bro. And you already like just hearing what you saying, just hearing how your approach, your aspect on it, like, bro, we gotta chop it up, bro. Like for real.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You know, so I've been going through a lot lately. Like, but you couldn't tell because you know, I still do my thing. I still do what I do. But I've been going through. It's been a rocky road. You know what I'm saying? But I maintain it well, you know. But I definitely was need you know what I'm saying?
Because we're taught in our community how to put on a poker face. You know what I mean? No matter what we're going through, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, for me, barbering is so important because it's just like when I used to hoop. During those 2 hours that I hoop, everything else went by the wayside. You know, that was my serenity. And then as you get older, you get kids, you know, you get married, whatever you do, you know, life changes, you get more responsibilities. And so now, you know, once I got behind the chair full time, that was my thing. No matter what I'm going through, when I'm behind that chair, it's serene to me. And that's a big part. My thing was always people. I worked in the school district for over 20 years, working with kids, dealing with people. And I think those individuals that have a gift to work with people are the best barbers. Because I don't care how good you are skill-wise, if you don't have the other aspects of barbering, you're not going to become extremely successful. You're just not.
Say that again, bro.
You know?
Say that again and remind yourself to clip that.
For real,
Man.
you know?
For real.
I just had that same conversation with a client. I said, man, where I inched a lot of people out when it comes to, I know there are some people who they was clients of such and such down the street for 10 years and now they've been in my chair and I've been able to keep them for the past 5 or 6 years. I said, man, the cut ain't gonna keep them. And I realized most of the people, dang near all of the people that come and get cuts from me in the beginning, it was to get a great haircut. They loved it. They seen the picture, you know how it going. If you became a barber over the past 10 to 15 years, they seen the cut, whether it was they seen it at the gas station or they seen it on social media, that made them come to you. Okay, cool. Now it's a thing. You got to prove that you can do it again. Cool. You prove that you can do it again. But then once we have that conversation, I know you'll never leave. You might go to somebody else and they might give you just as good as cut as me, but you're going to end up back in my chair because they can't talk to you like
you'll be back. Yeah.
And it's like, man, the cut was great, man. But man, I come to you. I'm like, at this point, my mirror in my shop, that thing is dusty. It got all types of stuff on it. I ain't cleaned it and I don't know how long because my clients don't grab the mirror when they get up out the chair. They shake my hand, give me a hug, and they walk out. When somebody asks me for that mirror, I'll be like, man, my bad, let me get this Windex. I don't use this thing. They come in to talk to me. It's just they just so happen to get a great haircut out the deal. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Because I mean, it's a lot of different industries that thrive on communication. That's why I hate when I run into a barber that they cut like this.
Man.
And they not saying nothing. And I'm like, you can't build no relationship with nobody if you won't talk to them, man. Like, how you gonna network with the person? How you gonna have a, you know what I'm saying, a network of people that you can call on and say, well, man, I got somebody that I could do, you know, that person is telling you this. They didn't told it to you. You ain't heard it because you was listening to Chief Keef or whatever. Now you was jigging and all that other good stuff. But you ain't got your clientele ain't nothing. It's just the client list. Or all you do is walk-ins because you don't have nobody consistently that sits in your chair.
Make me the 30, 45 minutes, hour you got me in your chair, make me feel like a superstar. You know, make
or
me
just
feel,
listen to them.
But that's that attention. That's that attention you giving. You making me feel important. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people pay for. Now just to move it and still talk about the same thing. So, you know, we all have these ideas. We're growing. We're doing things. entrepreneurial thoughts, right? Which is great. And that's one of the aspects that I love most about barbering, is that it gives you that space to think about what's next. And all of you guys have touched on that, right? So how do you guys, or what's your opinion in terms of the new law that's been passed in regards to the taxing of electronic payments, CashApp,
Peer-to-peer.
Venmo, things of that sort? How do you think that is affecting or will affect our industry?
So let me just, before y'all answer, just let me just read a few things to give the listeners a little bit more context to what we're getting ready to talk about. If you use payment apps like Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, the new year 2022 ushered in a change to an IRS tax reporting rule that could apply to some of your transactions. Us being a client and y'all being barbers, heavily,
and then other avenues
impact.
as well.
Absolutely. The new rule, which took effect January 1st of this year, doesn't impose any additional taxes on payment app users, but it does make it harder for someone to evade existing taxes owed if they're getting paid through these peer-to-peer apps. So up until last year, if you collected via Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, they didn't have to report until it was 20,000.
Right. 2,000 or more transactions that equal $20,000 or more.
Now it's what, just 600?
It's just $600.
$100.
Yeah, $600.
Not 600 transactions.
Not per transaction, just $600
period
on the year.
Right.
From those electronic payment sources.
So this topic was broached. Me and you were talking. Right. We were talking about some people that we follow that some aren't accepting peer-to-peer. Some are basically saying we're not accepting cash. Right. So a lot of y'all are doing big things, and your goods and services, you got goods and services that you're providing that deserve the utmost compensation. So how are y'all navigating so far? We're 3 months in. How y'all navigating?
I still accept both.
Yeah,
I accept cash. Yeah. I accept card. I accept peer-to-peer, because to me, man, if you look at it as a negative thing, it'll be a negative thing. If you're looking at it from the perspective of you want to be a hustler, then of course it's going to be a negative thing to you, because it cuts into your profit. It cuts into your ability to be a hustler, be a successful hustler. But if you're looking at it from the perspective of a businessman and what you're going to do moving forward, what your future plans are, you ever want to be a homeowner, you ever want to purchase the building that your shop is operating in, it's something that's actually going to benefit you if you use it right. It's one of those things where you need to be paying your taxes anyway if you plan on having any professional longevity in this industry, because if you don't, they will figure out a way to get your ass out the way.
No doubt.
It's only hurting the people that using it the wrong way, like the scammers and the people that's using it. Like, if you're using it for the purpose in which it's supposed to be used, you're only going to benefit from it. But the ones that's using it, that's misusing it, those are the ones that's complaining. Right. Those are the people that's really hurt by. A lot of the people that's doing the right thing and doing it the right way, it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing that you should feel like it's going to hurt your business at all, because, like you said, in all, we all supposed to be paying tax. Like, it's going to benefit us in the long run. Right. Like, if you're not doing anything illegal with it or doing anything that you shouldn't have no business, you shouldn't have nothing to worry about.
Right.
Right. A lot of people just, a lot of people feel like it's a threat because they haven't did their research. They haven't really just read about the stipulations of it. So they just assume, okay, they taxing this and that. I'm not using Cash App no more. I stopped using Cash App because I was scared of the scammers. You know what I'm saying? It had got bad. Somebody had called me from California acting like they were workers for Cash App, like they was, like they were representatives from Cash App, and actually sent me a code pretending like you should send this code to verify your account. And it scared me. So I took everything off Cash App. I unlinked all my accounts. I unlinked all my cards and everything because it spooked me. It kind of made me feel like they might try to get into my accounts. They might try to get all the money out of my Cash App. Right. So for a short period of time, till I got everything under control, I kind of feel like I was kind of skeptical about it because like I said, I was like, man, they sounded legit. And it went till I did my research and I realized like, hey, like, no, this was a scam. I was almost about to get scammed, but me knowing what I knew and the knowledge of what I knew the red flags. I was listening to them. I was asking them things like where your employer, this and that, just asking different things like Cash App, the headquarters is in is not in California where they was like they was sloppy with it. So it kind of put me in a perspective. I had my guard up. So for a moment I wasn't accepting Cash App because I felt like I was on a scam list. Like they was like, okay, I'm a target. So because you probably seen my Cash App on social media or something or this and that. Because when you get to navigate through social media, a lot of people start using the things you post online against you. Like you got your email posted, or you have your Cash App posted, or like your business address posted. People start using those things against you to try to scam you. Right. So it kind of shook me up a little bit. So I kind of paused from Cash App. But like you said earlier, not to get off topic, like if you handle your business the way you're supposed to, it's not going to affect you. It's going, like you said, it's going to benefit you.
Okay. Suge, what's your opinion?
I agree with everything that's been said. It didn't scare me because I've been claiming taxes.
Okay.
And like for me, a lot of the guys, I was like, man, I ain't doing PayPal or Cash App or none of that no more, man. I ain't doing none of that. I'm like, you never did 20. Like when you said the 20,000, in my mind, I said you never did over $20,000 worth of business on any of those apps. So you need not be scared anyway. Because if you had, they'd have sent you a 1099K, and you would already know what the deal is. I get matter of fact, it's funny y'all bring it up because they sit. I'm in my little basement office. These are my 1099Ks from Cash App. Okay. This one is Squire, and then Strike. I got that one upstairs. Okay. So I'm like, if you make it, say you ain't making the money, you say you making on social media.
Exactly. All you did was
it's okay. It ain't my business. It ain't my business what money you making, but you mean, oh, you doing so okay, you never got the paperwork in the first place, and it's like, I'm like, do you aspire to own anything? I mean, it ain't even got to be a car. A house, do you want to be able to finance anything?
Business, anything.
Because you must don't. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think a lot of barbers, man, I'm not trying to knock nobody, but it's like, man, listen, if you're going to be a dope boy, be a dope boy. Okay. These clippers them clippers ain't dope. It ain't crack weed, hair round, and none of that. They clippers, they cut hair. Make up your mind on what you want to be, doc. Because a lot of them, that's like you said, man, oh man, I'm a hustler, man. I do it. It's like, dude, I cleared a really good amount of money without speaking a figure over the past couple of years. Most of the dudes talking like that, I'm like, man, you sell dope and that's all you make, doc. Okay, cool. Right. But at least I ain't risking my life. But like I said, that's getting a little off topic. Right. I think barbers should welcome it or whatever. I don't want to be all cash, especially depending on what city you in. Why would you want to be all cash, man? You're just trying to put a target on your back. Especially when you go on social media and say, I don't accept card, Cash App, I'm all cash. Them just boys is on Instagram like, hey,
say less.
Say less. You know what I mean? So I don't understand. It's a mindset, and because Black barbers overwhelmingly don't speak the language of wealth. Right. They saw that as a problem. No doubt. Those of us that have been on it, that a lot of us be like that, and I say the language of wealth on purpose because that pandemic for a lot of us, that's when we learned how to speak money.
Absolutely.
That was the first time a lot of us had enough time to sit down and actually learn how to speak money. You know what I mean?
Now for me, I was a little skeptical at first, right? Just because when they passed it, it wasn't enough information. My worry was like, okay, if they're just doing 600, if you do other forms of payment, like, can they accidentally double tax? Like, because you're responsible, but if I'm working through my Booksy app, right? it just worried me that there wasn't enough information at the time. But as I continue to research, it makes me a little easier. And like you said, it is what it is. You know, I worked for 25 years. I've always paid taxes. What I do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, sometimes you have a issue with trusting the government, because look, you know, don't double up on me. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you know, and working in corporate, one of the big things is paper trail. You know, and that's how you're able to balance things. Like you said, you want to open a business, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you have to have that paper trail, and it's just the way of the world. And I had a homeboy that I thought he was crazy, man, they trying to make money obsolete. But as you look at it, it seems
that's exactly what they're trying to do.
You know what I'm saying? I used to think he was crazy. You know, man, you're a conspiracy theorist. But now as time goes on, you see less and less of it. You know what I mean? So, you know.
Something else I would say about the tax thing is something like that, a situation like that, law being passed and changed is going to create an opportunity where you're going to be able to now clearly separate the professionals from the people who just cutting hair. Because if you considering yourself a professional and you consider yourself a businessman, you need to understand that, especially after the pandemic, one of the things it taught me is there is no value in going to get an LLC or starting a sole proprietor or S corp or whatever you do, whatever way you set up your system and layer your protections or whatever. There is no point in doing it if you don't pay taxes, because you will never ever be able to reap any of the benefits of having those things in order. If you're going to put those things in place, you have to pay taxes in order to reap those benefits, tax benefits of having those things in place.
Absolutely.
So you got a lot of people out here running around calling themselves professionals, but they're not operating business professionally. And because of it, they know about benefits, but they have no idea how to use it.
No doubt. Can I say something in defense to some barbers, right? And I don't know you guys' experience with barber school, but I know a lot of barber schools, you know, you go through the curriculum and that's it. They're just pushing you out there to cut hair. And there are a bunch of guys, and I know I started early, you know, not knowing the importance and how to keep books correctly, right? It's a process. You know, keeping up with your money, dealing with taxes, understanding the importance of them. And I don't think, especially with our young barbers, there's enough training that goes into those aspects of the importance. So then you got guys who are maybe 32, 33 years old, run around pocket full of money, but can't go to a dealership and buy a car, can't get a credit card. You know what I mean? So I think I agree with you guys wholeheartedly, but I think there's some information that is lacking, you know, in our industry overall, that hinders some of our younger barbers.
I agree with you on that point, man, that the schools aren't necessarily prepared to really form you into a business person. But I also feel like it's not their job to. A school's position is to teach you how to pass the state board test in order to position yourself to learn those things. I always tell guys when they come and they ask me what's the best barber school to go to and what they need to look for, this, that, and the other. Before you even enroll in the school, understand that barbering school is a dope school. It's not school where you're going to learn any foundation beyond how to pass a test. You don't learn how to cut hair in barber school. You learn how to cut hair by cutting hair. You don't learn how to operate a business by going to business school. You learn how to operate a business by operating the business. So barber school in itself, and then think about it like this. Most states give you 1,500 hours to complete your barber learning experience before you go and take your test. If they added how to operate a business and how to operate books and how to understand tax breaks and tax advantages, what it takes to operate your business from a tax perspective, a financial perspective, barber school will be 4-year programs.
No doubt. And I totally agree with that. But I do, in my personal opinion, think that it should be touched on, or we as barbers who are older have a greater responsibility to our younger barbers.
That's what needs to be. That's what needs to happen.
You know,
and in addition to that, what it does is it creates an opportunity where you're going to immediately understand what you want out of this industry. If you want more than just to be standing behind a chair cutting hair, then
Right.
you yourself are going to hold yourself responsible for sourcing that information. It's a lot of guys. I just gave a young barber earlier today a book by Dante Financial called Securing Success from Behind the Chair. I advise anybody to pick that book up. I've read it maybe 5 times, and I put it in the hands of a barber every opportunity I get, because if you're sourcing the information, it's there to have. You just got to go and source it. Right. Nobody should have to hold your hand and tell you, this is how you do it. But if you can show me that you want to know, it should be somebody that's an elder, like a Suge, that'll put you in the right direction, or give you some game, give you some understanding on how to approach that.
Right.
And in this day and age,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, in this day and age, man, I look at it the same way. I look at this portion of the conversation the same way I look at critical race theory. I don't like it. Okay. I think it's messed up that they're trying to pass it. But at the end of the day, I can teach my children Black history even if they don't teach it in school. Right.
Absolutely.
Nobody, and we argue or we talk about, man, they don't need to teach Black folk. We don't know nothing about credit. We don't know nothing about tax. They don't teach nobody that in grade school. So where you think the white folk or the wealthy folk getting it from?
No doubt.
Boom.
Passing it down.
Somebody in their community is getting it, is giving it to them. So in this day and age, it's like, man, if you went to barber school, then that tells me one important thing: you're at least 18. Okay, cool. If you're at least 18 in 2022, you know about this website.
In Illinois, you
can
be
find
16.
out anything.
Yeah.
Even at 16.
Right. Yeah.
Let's just walk it back. If you 16, that tells me that I'm pretty sure you know about this particular website I'm getting ready to tell you about. And if you really wanted to know something, this is where the world, well, the United States goes to find out. Google. Understand me? If you really wanted to know, you can find. I used to get, when I was in barber school, like, my story is different than probably everybody else. I'm 38. I didn't start cutting hair till I was 30. So when I got in school, I knew more about business than I knew about the barber industry, so to speak. So it kind of put me up in a certain area, so to speak, or whatever. So by the time it took me 6 years to finish barber school, not because I'm dumb. I was grown when I started. So, bills and, you start, you go so many hours, then you stop, all that other type of stuff. And man, my last go around, I would get so mad at them young boys. Say, man, I don't know this. They ain't teach me this. I ain't passed the test. And one day, I turned to one of them. I said, "Nigga, can you read? Excuse my language."
Right.
What you mean? Yeah, I can read. No, all you got, them teachers at barber school, teacher ain't got to teach you no thing about all you got to do is read the book. That's it. Now, if you are willing to admit, man, I can read, but it's not really my thing, my comprehension. Okay, cool. We can work with that. We can go somewhere from there. But you sitting up here, you don't want to admit that. So then you don't need hooked on phonics. You failed that test on your own.
Gotta be with you.
Hey, and to touch on what you just said, man, that was one of my biggest frustrations in barber school. Like yourself, I started barber school late, man. I didn't enroll into barber school until I was 30. And actually, I didn't start cutting hair until I was 30. I never cut hair before then. And one of the most frustrating things I would see in a barber school is young guys and older guys alike was blaming everybody for everything related to their lack of understanding of barbering. But it's like, man, at what point are you gonna stop bitching and start doing something? Start sourcing your own information. If you don't feel like this school is teaching you how to cut hair, which to be honest, it's a very rare few schools that teach you how to cut hair, especially in the styles that's trending, right? If you feel like that's the case, you live in the age of technology. You have a plethora of options that could teach you those things, that can give you that information. You in your city, I guarantee you it's a barber who you could go in there and say, hey man, I'm enrolled in school. You may not be able to offer an apprenticeship, but can I come in here for an hour a day and just watch you and ask some questions?
No doubt.
Take accountability for what it is that you want. To me, I feel like he said, man, I hate that it is that way with the schools, because it would be awesome in a perfect world where you learn everything you needed in one place. But I appreciate that it is the way it is, because what it does is it creates men. If you want to learn something, you want to know something, hold yourself accountable. Going through that school can, in some cases, make or break you if you're going to be successful in this industry or any industry at all in life.
Right.
It's a lot of things in life, especially as African-American men, that nobody could teach you. Your parents couldn't teach you because nobody taught them. They learned through experiences, but they were so busy preparing you for the hardships of life that they never took the time to sit you down and tell you why they was preparing you. Right. So as you become a man, you get on your feet, pull your pants up, you stop bitching, and you go out there and you learn.
And I also feel like even bigger problem in a lot of different areas, but especially when it comes to barber school, and I saw this a lot. I learned a valuable lesson in college. Just a quick story. I was learning a Brazilian, but really an African martial art called capoeira, right? And I was trying to learn how to do a specific move that the mistre was trying to teach. He was teaching some other guys, but I'm like, man, I could do that. I know I could do that. And I'm watching him, but I couldn't get it. And when at the class, I said, man, teach me that move. He said, no, I can't teach you that move. I'm like, why not? And he was a real deep person. So he never just straight up would say something. He would give you some type of parable or something like that. He said, man, well, what happens if you walk outside and look straight at the sun? I said, what you mean? I mean, look at the sun. He said, oh, you look straight at the sun. What's going to happen? I said, you're going to squint. Well, why you squint? Why you squint? I said, because it's too bright. So that's why I can't teach you. Now, it took me about a week to figure out what he was trying to say. And what he was trying to say is there is a such thing as too much light if you're not ready for it. So when I deal with young barbers in barber school, a lot of time when I talk, they now they jump in your inbox and say, well, can you teach me blah, blah, blah. I'll let them comment in, man, teach me how to do this, man. I've seen, and I would say, I could tell you everything I know about how to do that. And you're still not going to be able to do it. What you mean? You're not ready. Right. You're not ready to learn this yet because you ain't got that. You trying to take the elevator and you need to go up the stairs first.
Man, too many people believe the acquisition of knowledge equals success, and it doesn't.
But y'all make it look so easy though, man.
Right.
Y'all make it look so easy.
Y'all
Hey,
go back
man,
to 2015.
you be whipping them little kids around.
Hey, scroll down to the bottom of the Instagram and you'll have a whole nother perspective, bro.
I mean, I told some people up in barber school that they out.
Like all my little cousins, my brother, man, I told them up, man. I'm talking about up, you know what I'm saying? But now, it came from, like I tell it, like Suge said, like a lot of people, they'll come at you and be like, and like I said, I don't judge nobody. I don't judge no one. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll jump in my inbox and be like, hey, I want to learn how to do it. I want teach me your enhancement ways. I want to learn how to use enhancements, And I go look on their page and I'm looking like you gotta learn how to blend. You gotta learn how to. It's a like you can. It may look simple, but I had to take the steps to get to learning how to use enhancements, learning to use a razor, learning to use this and that. It wasn't just something I was just like, I'm gonna start with this first. I'm gonna do this. Like it's certain preparation, it's certain things you have to go through to get to those stages. Like they see a haircut and they automatically assume, okay, if I do this, it's gonna get this same exact result. Right. Like no, it took years and years of practice and studying and just just hands-on and just learning for me to get to that point. And I be trying to break it down to them the best way I can. Because I don't want to just say like, look, you're not ready for that yet. You got to work on this and that. I try to give them the best rate possible. I just tell them just keep going. And when it comes to you, you will know when you're ready for it. Like, because a lot of people, they see things and you're like, because I know a lot of barbers that make it look easy, make it look real easy.
And that's the gift and the curse to social media.
It's a gift and a curse, because people don't see when you was holding your head down because you felt like you ain't gonna never get better. They didn't see when you didn't know if this was the right thing for me to do, or they didn't see when you didn't know that this your gift, or am I just doing it because I think this is what I want to do? They didn't see all those things. All they see is the finished product. They don't see the light. They don't see their head you messed up last weekend, you still thinking about it because you feel bad for that person when they looked in the mirror. They don't see none of that. They automatically see the finished product and they assume this guy got the key right now. They can tell me today they're gonna make my haircut look like this tomorrow.
No doubt.
No, I can't do it. But I can give you the steps and the learning process of what you can do to start you on your way.
Right.
Exactly.
But dig this, and that's the funny thing, because I kind of go through it with my son. He has this perfectionist, and I mean, he his hands are cold, and everything is so funny because that was part of my motivation, even with us kicking this off, just how it inspired me. But I'm looking at my son too, who is what I would call gifted, and sometimes things that come to you easy you don't appreciate, and so that's where we bump heads. So anytime he doesn't utilize social media, and we go back and forth, like it was like he's posted maybe 3 times since 2017, and man, we've had some times, man, we've almost went to blows, right? Just trying to get him to understand, man, the sky is the limit. And so he has this thought that everything has to be perfect. And it's Marvy Marv on social media. He had put something up there and said one time, every haircut is not postable. And a lot of people don't understand. They think that barbers are posting every single client that they have in the chair, and everybody's postable. And I mean, you got clients, different hair textures. Some people don't take care of their hair. I mean, it's like you said, it's a plethora of things.
Yeah, that's a good meme.
You know what I mean? But they just don't understand. So when you got those young guys reaching out to you, all they're seeing is what looks like perfection, and they think it just happened overnight. So I want to be able to do that. Or people are coming and sitting in your chair. I want my not understanding the filters and a lot of enhancements and a lot of things
that Sony camera that y'all was talking about.
Right, because I want to segue.
No, hold on. One more thing. I'm sorry. I hope y'all good on time. If you're not, then we'll go rapid. But this the I Come Away Out podcast, everywhere where you can listen to podcasts, most notably SoundCloud, not SoundCloud, dang, I'm rusty. YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Pandora, everywhere. We joined by Shada Barber out of Murfreesboro, AO, Ace of Fades, and Suge the Barber, Detroit. One thing I did want to touch on before we continue is, as I was doing research about the topic, and just a lot of barbers, being that you are, I guess, sole proprietors or independent contractors, or LLC, you can pretty much deduct a lot of things. And so I was reading something, it might have been a YouTube video where a guy had, a stable of hype beast sneakers that he wrote off, and he was like, but I wear them to work every day. They're part of my uniform, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
And so just maybe a bizarre thing, or just, we know the Clippers, we know the everything that you can write off, but just talk about all the things that you can.
I wrote them all off. All of them. Every single pair. Wrote them off. Huh?
Hey,
come on.
Hey,
even the red bottoms, wrote them off.
So yeah, man, just in a nutshell, tell our some of our listeners that maybe
all that's right off.
Right.
All that's right off. That's a write off.
Right. So just like Clippers, just everything that y'all to just enlighten people on, like, we can deduct this, so it's important to do your taxes.
Gas, murder.
And it's important to invest.
Yeah.
Because those things you can't, like Suge is a heavy cologne connoisseur as well. So we touched on that as well. But again, in some of his services, he offers those things. So you got Creed Adventures, which might run you, if you go to Neiman and Marcus, it might run you $425 for a 3.3 ounce bottle, but you can also write that off. You know?
Well, that's why it's important to read.
Mhm.
Read, period, but especially books like the book that Dante Financial wrote. I have that same book. It's a lot of books because if you don't know, then you're not gonna figure, and the IRS ain't gonna say, hey man, we think you could have wrote some stuff off that you didn't write off.
No, they
Them ain't
don't.
they're not gonna do that.
At all.
I've learned, I'm starting to learn more about expensing things. And that's a whole nother level, because when you expense a product, if you bought it at $100, if you have a trust and you expense it, you can claim up to 10 times what it was, what you bought it at legally. But it got to be set up right. So it's like, I don't want to just tell people, hey,
CPA, tax professionals, we are not those.
Right. Exactly. We are not those. But we are not those. That's what I'm saying.
Find you a good one.
Ready to say. That's what I was going to say. Find you somebody that know what they're talking about and that's certified in that area, because then they'll tell you, hey, you may not want to put that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, don't go just write the shoes off because you're wearing them. It's a certain way that you got to do that.
Right.
Or
Absolutely.
if you really want to write off your clothes, have you an LLC, an S corp, whatever, and put the name of it on there and wear that every day. Take that to the cleaners every week. And they spend like this is what wealthy people do. I swear, y'all don't understand. I watch some stuff. It's one of my favorite podcasts besides this one right now.
We appreciate
this podcast called Kosher Money, bro.
Okay.
I'm telling y'all, go watch. It's called Kosher Money.
Okay.
I watched them.
And they talk, I mean, they giving up the game finally. And this one dude, one of the first episodes I watched, he said, man, he said, look, he said, this is what you got to understand about tax time. If you look at the month of December, wealthy people go and they spend money. If they CPA been doing their stuff right, they look at what they got going on and they seeing how much they got left before they can start getting refund or whatever. And they'll just go buy a building long as it's before December 31st, so they don't have to pay that, so they don't have to owe. And I'm like, man, that's a whole nother level.
That's cold.
And that's what I mean when I say the language of money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we could do the same thing. Like if you've been claiming taxes and you got good credit,
yes, sir.
It would be dope if, as a barber, you say, man, you know what? I don't want to owe nothing. I want to do this. I'm gonna go buy another building. And so, why would you spend money on a building? I'm not spending money on a building. I'm spending money on something that I could sell for more than it's worth 6 months or 2 years down the line, so to speak. We don't think about it like that. We still right now, because we make money and we spend money every day. Right. Because we still, it's a lot of barbers still locked into that mindset. We know, like most people, like I remember DL Master Barber wrote a book called Pocket Game years ago.
Yes, sir.
I bought that book when I was in barber school in Dallas, Texas.
Now,
and one principle that I still, DL Master Barber out of California, like DL, dude, he was Tupac's and Biggie's barber when they was beefing. Like he's pretty much the first Black celebrity barber I ever known, so to speak. Like real knowledgeable. He can cut his face off, and he speaks like a champ, man. And he said one principle in that book that I know a lot of barbers, they still can't do this. He said, man, look, just put one haircut away a day. If you're charging on the low end $50 a haircut and you cutting 5 days a week, you're saving almost $500 a month. Right. And you do that for a whole year, you got a nice little chunk of change to do something with. Not let's say you mess around and you save that money for 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Oh man, you go into the mortgage off, or you go into the bank to buy that house and you got a down payment.
Absolutely.
That equals an amount where you ain't really paying that much on the mortgage because you came with that earnest money, so to speak, or whatever.
Absolutely.
But we got to talk more like that and like that in the barber industry, because a lot of clients try to sit down, and I've been in shops where they'll try to tell it, and it'll be an older Black man. Dude walk in, he got on, I was in Alabama, he got on his overalls, he looked like he ain't got no money, but this man owned house after house after house, and he was trying to give up the game, and the Negro, they wouldn't listen. Man, so at a certain point, he just shut up and just like,
he don't pass the look.
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
You know what I'm saying?
You pass
like, man, y'all don't understand. Like, sometimes you just got to learn when to shut up and listen.
And if none of you guys have ever been to one of DL Master Barber's classes, he does a lot of classes when he goes to these shows. It's a show coming up May 2nd in Nashville, Tennessee, the MLB Tennessee Trade Show. It's coming up, and he will be teaching a course there May 2nd. It's covered with the cost of your admission. You can go and sit in that course and he'll give you, like you said, that putting the cut away, dude, that changed my life.
Right.
That changed my life. Everything in this shop, I didn't have to take a loan for it. I didn't have to borrow anything against anybody to get it. I was able to fund everything in this shop out of my pocket and not put myself upside down off of that philosophy, that real small philosophy. Just putting one haircut a day away. And what he did is, me and my wife broke it down a little further than that. Take and put $100 bills away, and you'll put $10,000 up like that.
Right.
Just simplify it.
Right.
It's like when you used to hoop, right? Did you ever have a coach that used to tell you, all I need you to do is score 4 points a quarter?
You got 16.
I did, but I learned, definitely learned. Yeah. It was
6
simple
points
math,
a quarter.
right? Yeah.
And you simplify it.
And really, to really break it down from that aspect a little more, in AO hoop, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it could be, 4 points, you know what I'm saying? Here, get to the free throw line 6 times a game, 3 steals, all that puts you, you get an open court steal, ain't nobody there. It's a layup. You get to the free throw line, you know what I'm saying? Those 3 buckets. So at simplicity, absolutely.
6 points a quarter is 24 points a game. Every game.
Yeah.
That's 3 baskets a quarter.
Yeah.
And you can get them on the foul line. You can get them however you get them.
And
3 baskets a quarter is a 24-point average.
Bottom line.
They don't look at it like that.
Simplicity.
They don't. People look at it like you said earlier. People believe the acquisition of, they need the finished product in order to get the success.
Right.
But you don't, man.
Right.
You don't.
Right. So we've been at it a while, man. I could talk to y'all all day. We got just a couple more. I know everybody got, situations they got to get back to. One thing that I've noticed,
man, we freed up the whole day for y'all.
Keep going. Just make it a part 1 and a part 2, dog. I don't get to do this much.
You hear me? For real.
No, true story.
All right now, don't. Hey, all right now.
So, watching you guys, one thing all 3 of you guys do a tremendous job. All of you guys are great at your skill, but I'm watching it and I'm lacking and I'm learning. You guys camera game, and we came into it just the content that you guys create. Talk to us. You guys were having a conversation before we started recording. Just talk to us about your evolution in terms of your content. What's out there in terms of the camera game, what you would advise, not only for myself, but just young brothers. And like I said, talking to my son as well. If y'all don't mind giving up some of the game, because all you guys do a tremendous job. And I've watched you guys elevate also, not only through your skill, but sharing your content as well.
I feel like I'm lacking.
Like social media, it has its pros and cons, because it can be your best teacher, because every day it allows you to see not just what you're doing good, but it shows you your flaws as well. Yeah. Like you see your progress. A lot of people don't scroll all the way down to see when you wasn't where you were at those first 3 pictures.
Right.
They see that. They see those first 3 to 12 pictures, and they be like, oh, he must have been like this all the whole time. Yeah. And the average eye, when you look at it, if you don't think into it, you would think like, okay, this is what it's easy. It looks it's easy, but in actuality, I got photos of me back in 2010, 2011, and 12, still in my cloud, still in my storage, where I can go back and look at them, and I just be like, I can't believe I took that picture.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? But in your mind, at that time, you was like, this is the best haircut I ever seen.
It's fire.
It's fire. But when you post, and that's something I learned, when you post, the more you post, the more you learn not just about the media, because people gonna tell you how they feel. Because like, don't get me wrong, like my pictures, I get chewed out every day. I get chewed out every day by somebody that don't know nothing about haircut. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feed into it, but at the same time, it put me in a perspective to be like, let me look at it to what that way they thinking. And I'll be like, well, maybe I did do this, or maybe I didn't do that. But at the same time, it's still a learning process because everybody's not gonna have the same eye and the same aspect of it as you have. So you gotta take that in consideration. You know, like I said, when I looked at a lot of my old stuff and I see from what I post now, it's like you get a chance to see your progress. You get to see where you can improve. You get to see where you can gain in certain areas. Like a lot of people don't understand that. Like me, when I post things, I want to show you the things that the average person don't show you. Like it's small details in the haircut that people don't pay attention to that I put on broad display. Like it could be something simple like the little curve over the ear. Like ain't nobody gonna look at you and be like, man, the curve over your ear look, man, he killed that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna tell you that. You see it on a picture and you see that curve over that ear is real smooth. It takes your whole mindset off the whole picture. Like
Absolutely.
the line up, you see it, everything is gonna pop to you, but at the same time, it's certain small little details that make the picture bigger than what it really is. It's really everything is about a focus point. So if you're focusing on if the blend can be terrible, but the edge up can be flawless and it'll change your whole perception of the haircut. So somebody don't know nothing about haircuts or don't know nothing about the fundamentals of haircut, they're gonna look at the hairline and be like, man, the hairline was so straight. You ain't even gonna pay attention to the blend. You ain't gonna pay attention to that the hair on top isn't even. You're not gonna pay attention to nothing, but they're gonna see it, they're gonna find a perfection in a certain area. And that's what people gravitate towards these days. Like you might see somebody on Instagram, man, look at that watch. But you're not gonna pay attention that their shoes are dusty. You're not gonna pay attention to that. You're just gonna be caught in the perception of the bling and the wow. You look at this man ain't got a house. He taking a picture in front of somebody's house. You ain't gonna look at the whole percentage. It's gonna be one thing in the picture that you're gonna focus on, and it's a whole different. It's just like a perception. That's all it really is. Don't get me wrong. There's some great barbers out there, but a lot of the stuff that you see, it's like a mirage. You know.
Let me add a caveat to that. I think a lot of times I think I could say for probably all of us here that's taking pictures and promoting ourselves through social media. A lot of times you come to terms to understand that the way that you are going to stay busy as a barber is based on how visible you are to your community. You have to be visible. But in that, you have to package that visibility in a manner in which is going to be favorable to the people that you're trying to attract. So if I'm going to put something out there, I have to understand that the way that I market myself is going to determine my success. So if I started out with an iPhone 7 or iPhone 6 and I'm posting them pictures and it's not getting the traction that I want, then maybe it's not the haircut. Maybe it's the way that the haircut is presented. So I need to invest in something a little bit more suitable for what it is that I want to accomplish. Another thing is if you have that, for me, what it was I had a desire to get better because I came into the barbering industry old. I was an old head considered by a lot of people who were entering at the same time I was. I also came into the barbering industry where guys were putting a lot of stock behind enhancements, designs, these very extremely rare textures of hair, Photoshop, all these other technological parts of barbering that had nothing to do with cutting hair. So I understood that, okay, I want to get better, but I need to be able to present what I do the same way that the people that attract me are presenting. So in order to do that, I had to learn how to use my mirror and I had to learn how to use them pictures. Them pictures, if you don't know, a photo will expose everything wrong with your cut.
Everything.
If you've been cutting some hair and it look good to you, like, yeah, that shit gonna be fire. Take a picture of it and see how quick your mind changes.
That was my biggest teacher. Like, you can be, like you said, you look at the cut and be like, oh man, I know I killed this. You soon as you take it, be like, dang, I left that.
Damn,
way out of line, you know, and that's why that's how important it is to like post, because like when you post, it allows you to constantly get better. Because I ain't gonna lie, the way you said your son felt about how he felt like he had, I felt the same way. At one point, I felt the same way. I felt like, man, my work has to be perfect for me to post it. Right. Not knowing you're perfecting as you go on, but you're not going to see it. You're not going to be like, I got better yesterday. I got better today. No, you're not going to know. But when as the time goes by, you're going to accumulate growth, and you're not even going to be able to notice it. But once you look at it, you go back and you start, like you said, looking back years behind, you be like, wow, I made a complete 360, and I didn't really know.
Right. Yeah. Just adding those cameras and photos, and I would say quality photos, or even not quality, just photos in general, to your bag of tricks as a barber. What you're doing is you're training yourself. You're training yourself on how to get better. You're critiquing yourself. And like you said, you may not recognize how much that's influencing your growth, but Jesus Christ, it is. Because every day, I know everybody that's cutting hair, you probably got so many pictures in your phone that your phone is slow. Right. Because you're taking them all day, every single day. Right. I keep telling myself every day, I need to delete at least 1,000 of these pictures, man, because it's too many. Right. But what I'm doing is I'm training myself on how I can better present myself on this social platform where I'm visible exactly how I want to be visible, so I can target the market that I want. I don't want just anybody coming in this barbershop to get a haircut. I want people who looking for a specific service, a specific experience, a specific brand to come into these doors, because I want to offer a premium service.
So that's what you're going to attract. When you put yourself in that mode, put yourself in that situation, you're going to attract what you put out. If you post pictures and captions mean a lot too. If you how you talk it and how you present it, it's going to always reflect your clientele, and it's going to reflect the people that come towards you. Like, they going to know what type of barber they're coming to by just viewing you on social media. They're going to look at you and be like, man, he talk like he ain't the person I want to deal with. Or you will be able to, they're going to be able to know. You know, so you can tell when somebody's serious about what they do by how they post and how they move, how they maneuver through social media.
Right. Yeah. Case in point, piggybacking off that, I have a slew of clients that the reason why they came to me, they was like, yeah, the cuss was fire. Man, I love the fact that you're a family man. Because I post my family. I post my wife. I post my kids. I talk about my family a lot. And that's why they was like, man, you know, I'm a family man myself. And I just, man, you just seem like a person I could talk to. Here we go again. And now they opened up to me about family. So it wasn't even the pictures of the cuts that got them to come to me. It was I say, for me, to answer the original question, first, you got to figure out what it is, like you said, what it is you're trying to attract. What story are you trying to tell? Because at a certain point, it was a turning point, a fork in the road for me on my social media, when it was like, it don't make no sense for me to sit up here and post pictures of haircuts to get clients, because I ain't got no space on my books for new clients. So what am I posting pictures for now? It's literally it's art to me. When I'm posting a picture of a cut or a reel of a service or whatever, it's literally art to me. It's not to get somebody to come in. Unless I'm posting something, if I'm posting something educational, now I'm in that point where I'm trying to get barbers to want to pay me, educate them. Now that's a whole nother thing as far as marketing is concerned. Right. And then when it comes to, if I had a suggestion camera wise, I'm not going to suggest a particular camera or brand, because none of them girls pay me. But I would say, don't spend a bunch of money on your first camera. Find a good cheap camera, do some research, you read some reviews, don't spend more than $500 on your first camera, but invest in that. When you get that first camera, see how that do, invest a good amount of money into your first lens outside of your kit lens. And I ain't gonna say don't listen to barbers when it comes to, you know, camera and media and stuff like that, but look at some barbers, ask them some questions, and look up some people that photography is what they do, because they're gonna have a different level of knowledge or what to tell you on what, you know what I'm saying, what to get, you know what I'm saying. It don't make no sense for me to tell somebody to go out and get a Black Magic camera that shoots in 6K video so you can have great videos on Instagram. And we was talking about this earlier. Why does it not make sense to get that? Because it's great video quality. It don't make sense because Instagram can't upload but 720. They don't even do 10.
It's a good tax write-off though, right? Like
it's a good tax
It's
write-off,
really
but
sad.
you ain't got
It's a good tax
in the
write-off,
long
but it's
in the long
it's
run
to
of it, you ain't
it's
making
a
no money off of it.
right.
No,
It's
just
an
y'all know.
extremely irresponsible use of money.
Yeah, because
Hey,
the
hey,
messed up, you don't know how to use that camera. Like if anybody know what a
Exactly.
black magic
I'm
camera is,
just being
the
funny.
learning
All
curve
right,
is crazy.
you hitting it
I
right on the
know.
head. Hey yo, I got a quick story before the barbers get in. So I'll be reffing football and basketball. So you got to go to clinics in Illinois every 3 years. So sometimes you go to a basketball clinic and you do like summer tournaments, you know what I'm saying, for free, but to get your clinic credit. So before we take the floor, they said, man, you can have a worse call, but if you come in with that closed fist and you hustle in and you point, it could be the worst call ever, but they won't hear nothing. But if you come in that timid and you don't know if you got a call, oh, that's when the crowd gonna be on you. And then in football,
Yeah.
you know, when they punt in football and they go out of bounds, this was a Big Ten official at a clinic. He said, you just walk and do your hands like this. And then when the crowd start roaring, then you know to stop, because how you know where the punt went out of bounds at. So just to the point where y'all was saying, you know, just how you set it up. And I was just like, it made me think about just how the perception you give off is just, it's like that universally.
Right.
Like
So-
I was telling people, I was telling some guys like if you like you want your social media to be clean. You want your content to be clean. Like you don't want to be, you're trying to be an aspiring barber. You don't want to post pictures of you smoking weed. You don't want to post pictures of you throwing gang signs. You don't want to post pictures of you posting with guns and all that type of stuff, because you're not going to attract a clientele base you're going to attract people that's into those things. You're going to attract, not to judge nobody, but you're going to attract those. You're going to attract people that's interested in those type of things that you're posting. So if
I
you're
call them young Thundercats.
Yeah, if you professional
Whatever starts with that.
and you posting that you about your business, you're gonna attract people that are about their business. You're gonna build relationships with people that are about their business. You're gonna attract conversations with people that are about their business, and you're not gonna attract people that's on that nonsense, on that type of level. Like what you post is gonna be what you attract.
That's what's
So
up.
I
I
try
play
to.
devil's advocate for a quick second on that. So, but I do agree with you on that to a certain extent. A quick story. There's another barber here in Detroit, probably the most popular barbershop in Detroit, in my opinion. It's called the Juice Barbershop, right? The owner is Garrett the Barber, my homie. I know him, I love him. And I used to be like, man, he's so unprofessional, man. I don't understand it. And one day I had to really look at it and say, you know what? Professionalism is relative. So what is it relative to? It's relative to the type of client that you want or that you have. Because some of his people have come and sit in my chair and they love the cut, they love the atmosphere, but they never came back because it wasn't what they was used to and it wasn't what they was like. Like his shop, his moniker, like his what they call it. What he says on his moniker is no cut, no butt, right? And then he gonna get on camera and he gonna say, if you tired of your barber pushing your shit back, if you tired of your barber messing up your haircut, come to Juice Barbershop, right? That's his moniker. And I used to hate it until one day I said, man, but his clients love it. And at the end of the day, the clients is who you're marketing to. His clients never say he's unprofessional. And this guy cuts the Pistons. He cuts the Lions. He, one of them, Hebron pays for him to drive wherever he is in the nation to come and cut his hair. I don't know how many times a month. And, you know, like he has a very, so to speak, he got clients that got money, not just
diverse clients.
And they love it. Like when you walk in that shop, they playing Chief Keef and all of that. We got this thing in Detroit.
Not 42 Doug. Ain't that 42 Doug?
Yes, they playing 4-2. It's not 42, it's 4-2. He
4-2,
gonna be mad
I'm
at
sorry.
you if you see this, if you say that. But that's what they love at his shop. I would love to work with him, but I couldn't work in that shop because that's not my professionalism.
Yeah,
So
Can I say something to that?
Yeah.
Can I say something to that? And this, I'm gonna make it real quick too. One of the things that I preach in this shop comes by way of that same scenario. I believe everywhere across the world you have shops that's like that, and whereas that's not your energy. So it's hard to really put it all into perspective how that person or how that shop can thrive the way that it does, and it's so reverse of what you're thriving at doing, right? You're thriving at doing a positive space. He's thriving at doing organic space, right? But something that I tell these guys in here, and something that someone told me, and I live by it now, your energy output determines your income. His energy output it appears one way, but what you may not see is what it is when the client's in that chair.
Yeah.
His energy when they're in that chair may be something different. He may attract those certain type of guys from the outside, but once they get in this chair, that may be the only place where those guys can come, feel comfortable going, and then be able to also be vulnerable because their experiences with him are different. And the second thing I would say is something else that I preach a lot. I say it a lot on Instagram, and this comes by way of DJ Benji Rich, Benjamin Tankard, who's one of the guys next door. His focus is mass media and growing people, growing men into fatherhood. But something that he says all the time as it pertains to marketing with social media, content equals coins. If you don't know in this day and age that what you put in your ability to be visible on social media will put money in your pockets, both through social media and from social media, you may be wasting your opportunities. Every picture that I post is for the objective to get either somebody in this seat to put some money in my pocket, or for Instagram to understand that my algorithm is reading higher than it was 6 months ago. And they start to pay me for them reels that I'm posting because they do that.
I'm just gonna say that. That's the only reason why I post reels is because they was like, "You want
That's
to make
it.
money posting reels?" And I was
They're
like,
gonna pay you for
"You
it.
gonna pay me?
Yeah.
I'm posting because I'm actually
Absolutely.
horrible at posting on social media. Like I
I
have
didn't even know that.
spurts.
I heard they doing away with them though.
Until they do,
they trying to catch up with TikTok.
Yeah,
They
and I
are.
was just getting ready to bring up
Trying to
TikTok.
catch up
See,
with TikTok.
I didn't know they paid for real.
Yeah.
If
That's
you
why
haven't noticed,
I post them
next
now.
time you go on, if you go on your social media, if you go on Instagram,
Mhm.
I want you to scroll down. And the way you can find out if it's a reel or a post, when you go to the post, just touch it. If it opens up full screen into a reel, it's a reel. If
Okay.
it doesn't open up, it's a post.
Right.
I want you to go on there and go through 10 and touch them and see how many of them are reels. They're trying to do away with the photo because the photos can't keep up with TikTok. TikTok is a video sharing platform.
Okay.
Instagram at its base was a photo sharing platform.
Mhm.
And then Meta bought Instagram, and Meta is trying to compete with TikTok. So in order to compete with TikTok, they have to incentivize the people who are on Instagram to start to post more videos. In order to do that, they created the reels. So what they are, and they're in a position of transitioning, so they're gonna pay you to do the work. And as long as they're gonna pay me, baby, I'm here to serve. You feel me?
No
Now
doubt.
your page got to be set up a certain way though. Like you
It
can't.
does.
If your
It
page,
does.
if you're just a public figure, you're not gonna get
You're
that
not gonna get
chance
paid. No.
to get paid. You got to be an entrepreneur or a business page.
account.
So that
Yes.
you're gonna have to attach your bank account, like a business bank account, tax
Absolutely.
ID, all that type of stuff. Like I love looking at my bank account and seeing Facebook Industries deposit.
Just for
like,
doing
yes,
what I
sir.
was doing for free anyway. Yeah.
And it's
absolutely.
just, I mean, it's easy. I ain't gonna say it's easy money, because then what I'm trying not to do is end up going down the algorithm rabbit hole, because the
Right.
algorithm keeps changing. It's like the hardest thing to keep up with
Yeah,
to get people, because the thing about getting paid to post reels, you don't get paid per like, you get paid per view.
You.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got it.
Right.
Now I love the fact that it takes me away from trying to see who all liked it. I'm looking at the amount of views, and I'm trying to figure out how to get in front of more people or whatever.
That's
So,
why a
yeah,
lot of
that's that.
times when you look on there, you got guys like myself. I'm one of these guys where I'll post something and it may only get 20 or 30 likes, but it got 20,000 views. I started to implement. I got a American Bully. He's beautiful. I started to implement him into my barbering page because I found out that when I post him, his content goes viral. I posted a video of him just walking in a circle, and that shit almost got 100,000 views.
Crazy.
So I started to implement that to my barbering profile because one, it's gonna run up the views. Two, if it doesn't run up the views to the point where I get some money off of it, Instagram is gonna recognize that this is something that's potentially viral, and it's going to create more traction to my page. You might have came for that dog, but you also found out that it's a barber over here too. That brings people into the door.
Like if you're a barber, like what I figured out with my page, as much as my clients like my cut, it don't matter how great I make that cut video. If I'm doing the sequence, my videos, I get more views when I'm just sitting and talking and I'm giving a quick little spit of game. Those videos get views. Absolutely. That cut, I'm like, but this was fire and it's dope. But that thing got 100 views and that was it. Or if I post something funny, you post something funny, you get out of there on Instagram. That's what they're looking for.
That's what catapulted me. That's what started. That's what grew my following. Like I was posting reels a year or two ago. I was posting reels when they first dropped, and I got reels that's been played 200,000. Like just reels. Period. Like that right there. People going like pictures are slowly going away. If you ain't noticed, they slowly away.
They starting to be like cash, huh?
Yeah,
for real.
Like
get you some crypto.
A gateway to, like you said, like to a lot of opportunities. Like they did. Like people going. The more people you can get to sit down and watch your reel, is beneficial. It's definitely beneficial.
Every one of them views is a potential new client. That's the way I see it.
So even getting you guys feedback. So even with us, like with the podcast, we could take create reels from the podcast and push it.
Yeah.
Honestly, you operating this podcast, you guys are in the greatest position to create the most content
than anybody.
From anything that we can do as barbers. Because you're doing a video that may be an hour long. You can clip that video and clip as much as you want. You can add transitions to it. You cannot add transitions to it. And you can post from one video. You have enough content to create clips and reels for the rest of the month.
You could be paid. You could get double paid. Post that clip of that reel because it's gonna be on YouTube.
Man, dog, I didn't know.
Y'all look through this video, right? Find the most influential part or a deep part, a moment that's gonna captivate.
And we got some of them.
Clip it. Post that moment. Put the YouTube link. Hey, if you want to see the rest of this, link in the bio.
Hey, we ain't dropping this. We ain't dropping this. Hey, y'all done put a seed. Hey, I can't tell you when the whole video gonna drop. We just watch the reels, y'all.
And listen, DJ Vlad messed up the game.
He do it all the time.
Pioneer of
it. DJ Vlad, exactly. Yeah.
DJ Vlad is the pioneer of it. He was like, look, man, if I can get one, if you notice that video might have 9 parts, and each part will have 1 million views. And then he'll drop the whole hour-long video. And that hour-long video will still get 1 million views because people trying to figure out. I know it was 9 parts, but was it something that it left out?
They done built up that anticipation.
I'm gonna tell you,
and it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Because when you're doing that, you not only create traction for the videos, you're promoting what you do. So now people will start to think like, damn, man, I don't want to wait. I want to see the whole video. Right. So now they're going to be looking for you to give them a time and frame in which, hey, man, our next interview is coming up next month on the 5th. And you can continue to push. Every time I put a clip, I will put reference to what the next video is going to be and when it's going to be. And keep on pushing it. That's how you promote yourself continuously. It's about being consistent.
Right. Because we were so just concerned with when it's dropping. But I'll be honest, it'd be like, man, it take time, and then you got to go in there. So yeah, we ain't dropping the whole vid, but we'll drop a reel every other day. So y'all ain't gonna have to sit, but y'all done gave us the game, so we you know.
I appreciate it. I'm
or put that thing on Patreon and say, you want it early. If you want to get it now,
subscription, yes,
$10 a month,
yes, sir. I know about absolutely.
Man, we got all these.
Another one.
Hey, right. And look, I'm looking at him like, what the hell we been doing?
But there's something else you could do too. Facebook has these things called Facebook rooms, and people pay to enter those rooms in order to see your content.
I don't know about that.
See, I'll be on Facebook too much, man. Yeah,
really.
See, he too busy. Look. I'm trying to get to the bag. He too busy trying to poke people. He trying to poke bears. He want to piss people off.
I'm gonna tell you another thing that plays a lot in your algorithm on your page too.
Mm-hmm.
Your interactions. Your interactions mean a whole lot. Like I go on several pages. Like when I'm scrolling, like if I'm in my downtime, I'm not doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I might just, it can be 10 barber photos back to back. I don't even know nobody.
I'm gonna like them all.
I might like it, comment 55555, or I might, if I really know you and I really have a relationship with you, I'm gonna comment as me. But if you know some people I don't know, I'm a 555 you to deal. When you do that, they gonna come in back and they gonna be, they might say appreciate you or something like that. You just like that comment because you're gonna get the notification when they respond to it. You could just like, that's an interaction. Once you get interactions like that up, it builds the momentum towards your page. It affects the accounts that you reach as well as your interaction. When you interact with people, it puts you in a different algorithm with a lot of people. See, back then, Instagram used to be in chronological order. So it was based on a time frame. So if you was to post at 12:30 and I look on Instagram at 12:31, your post is going to be at the top of my timeline. See, now it's all based on algorithm. I might get on the timeline and it might be a picture from 3 days ago that's bumping and booming right now. It's going to be at the timeline because it's getting the most engagement, it's getting the most interactions at that particular time. So if you just do simple things like your reach, like check your insights. On your page, you got a button that says insights. When you check your insights, you intel on what you're, it's gonna let you know what time your audience is most active, when they're liking your pictures the most, the times of the day your audience is on Instagram or all that type of stuff, and it'll let you know when it's time for you to post. Okay, when I see that, okay, all my clients are very active around 12:30. Guess what? 12:30, I'm gonna have a post out for something to see, something for them to see. Once you do that, it's gonna improve your client, not your client. It's gonna improve your audience interaction. It's gonna it's gonna increase your reach. Like it'll make your reach. You can reach from 60,000 to 150,000, 300,000 people. You know what I'm saying? It's all about that time, and it's all about how much you put into it. It's gonna give you back. Because if you're not posting and you're not liking them, you're not interacting, your algorithm is gonna be very low, and it's gonna put you in a category of other people that's algorithm is very, very low. So if
you'll be considered a casual user.
Yeah, it's gonna make it. Yeah, you're a casual user. So if you put yourself in a situation where you're always interacting, you're always liking, you're always posting, it's gonna put you in an algorithm with other people that are always liking, always posting, always commenting or interacting. You would be a regular person with no job, no nothing, and you're in the same algorithm with multimillionaires and people that are celebrities. You know what I'm saying? I look up, and I know everybody understands. You might see a girl that don't have no job. She can't have a job because the way she posts every day, she's in the same position. She might have 500,000 followers, and she's getting all the attention, it's because she's using her downtime, she's using her interactions, and her audience reach out so far that it's put her in the situation for her photos are getting liked by NBA basketball players, famous actors, rappers, people that post in that same type of criteria. So
I'm gonna put it to you like this. This gonna be a clip for y'all, right? Because this is something else I noticed with Instagram and Facebook, especially Facebook. Controversy. How you tag your videos and photos or whatever. If people read it and it triggers an emotional response, or they read it and it makes them wonder if it's something negative, unfortunately, they're more apt to go ahead and click on that to see what it is. So here's a clip for y'all that y'all can use. Instagram is the dope game. And the dope game is looking for powder users. They're not looking for the casual social partiers. They're looking for the dope abusers. As long as you find a way to make your page look like you have a dope habit, you gotta have Instagram. They're gonna put you in front of other abusers who are gonna abuse your content.
Yep. I see people all the time go live and be like, I can't believe they fighting in here. And you click on the live and they giving a positive speech about something, and they see
they just
gotcha.
and
3 steps. Respect on my,
you know what I'm saying? Gotcha.
There's I call them Super Bowl commercials. They ain't got nothing to do with the product.
Exactly.
Nike got a commercial got tacos in it. They're
Right.
talking about some just do it. And I'm like,
And
what?
then they done got me so many times, bro. I click on it like maybe I clicked on it wrong. Click out and click back in.
Yeah.
Like
Giving that impression.
It is what it is.
Man.
They
So
talking about
this
inspiration.
chess, not checkers, huh?
Yeah, but the
No,
thing, it's no limit to publicity in this game. Like,
nope.
Positive or negative, people gonna gravitate towards the negative. That's just the time space we living in right now.
No
Like
doubt.
people will gravitate towards some. It can be somebody getting off drugs and changing their life. People gonna look at that and be like, I think I
Still
want to
a
see
hype,
him beat up his girlfriend. I want to see that. I want to see that
Yeah.
first. Then I see how he changed his life. Let's watch the video of how he went to jail, how he shot at the police and did all this other stuff before we watch him better himself.
Right.
Like that's the society we live in today.
And have you noticed the trend that's changing, right? I just thought about this, just listening to this conversation we having, right? I love organic conversations like this.
Right.
Social media isn't social.
No.
You got to take that out your head.
Yeah.
Social media isn't social.
Big time.
Social media is the title so that it can appear friendly. Social media is marketing. As if you have a Facebook page, if you have an Instagram, if you got a TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, any of these social media sites, you're in the business of marketing because we all trying to market something, whether that's just to get your follows up, get your likes up, get your retweets up, or you trying to get somebody into your business or somebody to purchase your services or your goods. Right. You're in the marketing business as long as you on social media. That's your job. So the person who's going to render the most success in any marketing campaign is the person who's the most creative with their marketing and who understands how they market what there is. And Instagram gives you a cheat sheet, like you said, with that insight button. You have a running record of everything you need to reproduce and mimic in order to keep having the success that you had when you did it back then.
Yep. It even breaks it down so far as age limit of people, like the age group of people that you're targeting the most. Like it'll let you everything. I that's something I always try to keep up with my insights, because your insights is gonna let you know how you did throughout the month, throughout 6 months, throughout the week, throughout the day. It's gonna let you keep up with all of that.
Wow.
And it's gonna let you know how to basically make your next move and how to make your next post.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, y'all done took us to school. I'm sitting here looking at my part because he the guy with the camera. He the technical guy. I need iPhone for dummies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Being a little older, like when I figured out that I wanted to just cut full time. Like I ain't even have an Instagram. So my wife and kids, Dad, you got to get an Instagram. So finally I got one. So I'm still, and the truth of the matter is, man, that shit can take up a lot of time. Sometimes I'm on the phone, my wife looking at me like, man, are you gonna get off this damn phone?
In the beginning, it can take up a lot of time, but the more you do it, the easier to get. Plus the benefit of what y'all got going on is two of y'all. Okay. You can split 100% of that work 2 ways.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, it definitely gets easy. Once you get to going, like you would look at people and be like, they must be on Instagram all day. No, they just post and go.
Yeah.
Post and go.
A lot of what you see on my page is stuff that I took a picture of video weeks ago. And I waited until I had some time. Like today, I'm off. I might edit 2 or 3 videos, post it. I might change the sound on it, post it again. I might change the location, post it again. I might reverse it, post it again. It's just recycling the same stuff.
Listen, I learned this from one of my business coaches. She was like, look, Suge, like, she said, I went through your page. You paid me, so I went through your page. I went way back. And you got some amazing stuff from 2-3 years ago that didn't get that many likes.
Repost.
She was like, she said, repost that stuff. Everybody ain't seen it. Repost that stuff. Get traffic to your page. And I was like, dang, you got a point. Some of it I went and like, because it was longer than some of the stuff I posted when they came out with IGTV. So it was longer than the reel would allow. So I would just go back and re-edit it, put the joint back up. Right. And people, it's weird to me because people looking at the pictures like, man, it's fire. Like they commented as if they always think you just did that today. And I'm like, man, I think from 2 years ago.
Yeah. 2 years ago. Yeah.
And I have to fight my urge because I was saying earlier, man, sometimes I just don't feel like posting. And I'll go a whole month. I'll go a week out of the month and go strong. And then I don't really feel like posting no more. Right. And it's like, yeah, well, that's not advantageous to your business because at this point, you got, like you said, you got to stay in that algorithm. You got to keep posting. You got to stay in their face. And I'm like, all right, well, this time I need to set a goal and try my best to achieve it. Because what I noticed is my bread and butter is the educational realm, talking, so to speak. But I'm like, I don't want to just give out too much game for free. Right. Well, Instagram started paying folk to go live. But you can't get paid to go live unless you got 10,000 followers.
Right.
I'm at 6,000 something. I'm like, man, I got to get these followers up. Now I still ain't figured out how to get these followers up. I don't know what in the world is going on or whatever, because I'm getting traffic to my page, but my followers is going down. And that's fine with me. But I'm trying to get to that 10,000 because I'm like, oh yeah, we going live today. Go ahead and give me that badge. Oh, you know what I mean?
The way you get your followers up is stop waiting for people to follow and tell them to follow you. Don't wait. Tell them.
I'm gonna tell you another thing.
Go follow my page.
Another thing to get them up is consistency.
Yep.
Consistency. That's the biggest part because people are not gonna want to follow something they don't see every day. Like if you post on a consistent basis, and like a lot of my stuff, I have mapped out before I post. A lot of stuff I don't post. A lot of stuff that I post, it don't be like, I cut this today, I'm gonna post it today. A lot of stuff I have it mapped out. Okay, when the time comes, 12:30 come, 5 o'clock come, or 8 in the morning come, I already know what I'm gonna post. I already have it lined up. I already know I'm gonna post. So it's just boom. I copy it like on your. All y'all have iPhones? Mm-hmm. See, this is what I do. Like you got a setting. You can go on your keyboard, and you can type in. It's like a shortcut. It's basically like a shortcut. So you can type in the key from copying and pasting hashtags or copying and pasting this and that, posting your hashtag. Because hashtags mean that's the most. That mean a lot. Like things that are trending, you can use those hashtags. See me, I'm not gonna lie. I used, as y'all know, Deion Sanders just came to Jackson State.
Yep.
When Deion Sanders made his move to Jackson State, I used hashtags that people would use to search for him in some of my posts. So if you're looking for Deion, you're going to stumble up on me. You might be looking for Deion and find a ball.
Ace, baby.
You don't find me. You know what I'm saying? And by the area that I was in, he had just came to Jackson. Regionally where I cut it, it's basically like North Jackson. So people in the area, if you're looking for him, you're gonna find you found a barber looking for me. I mean, looking for him. You weren't looking for me. You were looking to find media outlets, players, coaches, cheerleaders, whatever the case that was looking for Coach Prime. You find me. And now I put myself in the category to be seen simply because you scrolling and you looking for Coach Prime. Like, dang, look at that cut. Who did it? Boom, now I brought you to my page. Like, it goes with songs. Like, if you look at all the rap songs that's going on now, the rap songs that are trending, take advantage of it. Every rap song that's trending, they gonna post the hashtag of what this song means. Like, I'm just gonna use Lil Durk, for instance. His song, Aha, that he got out now, he got a hashtag. Hashtag Aha. People are going on social media and they hashtagging Aha to get either clips from the video, pictures from the video, or other things. If you put that hashtag in your post, you're going to put yourself in that same category. Because guess what? Even you might not have 1 million followers, but you getting the same interactions at the same rapid pace, and you might mess around and look. It might be 5 pictures of Lil Durk. Guess what? Your haircut picture is the 6th picture. And now you don't put yourself in the category to be seen just like he is.
And think about it like this. You think about all them subsidiary companies that make their money off of putting those narratives out there and reposting that stuff, like Media Takeout, all of the news sites. Like if you got a news app on your phone, they don't just send news no more. They send trending topics.
Yeah.
What you've done is you've creatively aligned yourself with their marketing strategy. So what you did is for free, and this is game for anybody that don't have the revenue to promote their post, because you could promote your post too. So let's say you don't have the revenue to do that. You can use them hashtags, and basically those companies who do have the revenue to get the traction to those trends, they're not working for you because you've aligned yourself with what they're promoting.
Yeah. They're not just a trending topic no more. We are a trending topic.
We the trending exactly.
We are a trending topic. And when you do that, you send so much traffic to your page because somebody's gonna find you that's not looking for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna put yourself in the category to be seen.
Yeah. That's when you mess around and you go to your discovery page and see your work on there, like, oh shit.
Right. And that's another thing that got me out there. The explore page, the discovery page. Like I used to scroll and look on it, and I used to see myself on there 6, 7, 8 times because of the hashtag. This was very critical in like, especially if you look at followers. Your hashtags are the most important thing of the post. Your hashtags is the most important thing because your hashtags is gonna give you a category to be searched in. You got
multiple categories,
and it might say hashtag fade. It might be 5.5 million posts in there, but you're gonna find a hashtag. You're gonna find a hashtag or a criteria that may have 200,000, 300,000 maybe posted on this hashtag. But you do reach to the ones that have a bigger following as well, because you want to put yourself in that category as well. Because if you posted it long enough, you'll do it. The fade, I probably not still in. I haven't checked it in a while. But if you look at I got on some of my hashtags, I'm in at least the top 5 pictures in every one of them. No matter if it's been posted in by millions or any of that. I posted in there so long, so consistently that the people that are posting in it, they aren't posting in it as much. So guess what I'm doing? I'm slowly passing. I don't care if your picture do got 20,000 likes. I posted in this hashtag 20,000 times. You might post it once, but I'm posting it so much that it's slowly bringing me up the ladder. So when they search that hashtag fade or hashtag haircut, you're going to see me at the first spot because I posted in that hashtag consistently. You just got to, what I did was I wrote down some hashtags. I just sat down and wrote out some of the ones that I felt like I could touch. Like I said, it's some that post might have 50,000 posts. Some might have 10,000. Once I grew some of the ones that had 10,000, I switched them. Put another category in. We might have 500,000 just to increase my traffic, just to increase my visibility to people that don't know me.
Yeah, and like you said, you had those hashtags that are like your foundational hashtags. Like your location where you are, that's a foundational hashtag. I'm gonna put hashtag Murfreesboro in everything I post. And just like you said, because it's a lot of guys that's in Murfreesboro that's not taking advantage of that. When you search Murfreesboro, you're gonna see me a lot because I've casted a bigger net. I'm posting it on every single post that I put up. Even if I change the trending post, it's that foundational post that's gonna stay the same. So if you search Murfreesboro, the net that I didn't cast is so big that you have to see me. Versus somebody who only put it in every other post, they fishing with a fishing hook. While I'm fishing with a cruise line sinker net, where I'm trying to catch everything I could catch.
And that's exactly how you do it. Like that. Like if you don't have everybody should have a hashtag that represent their brand for sure. So if they mine is AO the Ace. I use that hashtag. Every post that I made, and when you post that hashtag, it's going every time somebody click that hashtag, no matter where they are in the world, you click hashtag AO the Ace, you can be in South Africa right now, and you type in hashtag AO the Ace, you're gonna find me. And that right there, things like that, it's like building your resume to where you can be seen by people that have no idea who you are.
Wow. Can I ask y'all a question, man?
Yes, sir.
And I know we carrying on, but I got an interesting question, something that we talked about in the shop. I got a guy here, KG Cuts. He got 30 years in the industry. He's the guy who actually put the MLB trade show together. He puts this together. But my question is, how do you feel about booking sites like the Cut, Squire? I heard you say Squire, Square. What's another one? Booksy, and those things. How do y'all feel about those?
I love it.
For me personally, because kind of like you said, not necessarily a late bloomer, but doing it full time. It was just something I did part time, right? So when after that 2019 Browner Brothers, we had talked about one of the classes, Yusuf was in, and one of the topics was, you know, he held the class. One of the topics was the booking site. And so I had a fellow barber that I work with who, you know, used Booksy. So for me, coming back into the community and using it, it actually worked wonders for me in terms of just creating a schedule, keeping it filled, knowing my schedule on a day-to-day. There are a lot of aspects of it that I haven't become familiar with that I probably should. But to be honest, there's nothing bad that, you know, in terms of experiences that I've had with it. At this point, it's definitely been to my advantage to use it.
What about y'all?
I don't use Booksy. I use it's called Acuity Scheduling. Acuity Scheduling is very versatile. It's not as much, it's not as expensive as Booksy, but it allows you to create your page the way you want it. You know, it don't like somebody can be, see on Booksy, it's so many barbers on Booksy in my area. So I put myself in a category where if you're looking for me, you're gonna find me. So Booksy, it creates a lane where somebody could be looking for you and stumble across somebody else. And not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but it puts you in a different category to where I ain't gonna say, I just kind of like to be different, you know. But Acuity has been is where one it does it keeps my schedule well managed, everything. I love everything about it. It allows me to edit and change my page the way I want to. Like if I want to post this, if I want to book this class, if I want to do this or put anything about it, I can put it, I can post it without Booksy or without anything giving me a limitation. Well, if you want to do this, you got to add this. If you want to do this, you got to sign up for this program or this and that. It allows you to be yourself.
What about you, Suge?
I love booking apps. And back in 2015, when I first moved back to Detroit from Dallas, I probably was the first barber to use Booksy here. I since left Booksy for other reasons that I don't want to talk about or whatever right now, but I left Booksy for Squire. Squire is definitely expensive. It's very expensive, but there's ways around it. So with Squire, what Squire had off rip that Booksy didn't have was they had an integrated POS system. I was already taking card payments, but it was like I was taking the card payments through PayPal. So what would happen is you would pay, you would book through my Booksy, and it got to a point where you can click charge and a person could prepay with the card, but it was in its infancy. So sometimes it wouldn't go through. It would do all types of crazy stuff, or I would integrate it with PayPal. So then what would happen was I would get dinged. I turned all the way around. I don't know how that happened. I would get charged 3 times. Booksy would take a fee from transferring into my bank account. Then PayPal would take a fee just for swiping. And then if I was transferring it from PayPal to my bank account, even if it was instant, they would take a fee for that too. Once I got over with Squire was like, hey, depending upon how you do this, we can send you either a register, so to speak, or a card reader or whatever that was equipped to do all the different types of card reading. You could swipe, you could tap, all of that or whatever. So what happened with Squire was, so long as I do so many card transactions a month, I don't have to pay for Squire. And most of my clients, they either prepay or they swipe anyway, because I'm not afraid to take the swipe from earlier or whatever. So another thing I love about it is it keeps my books. It gives people a way to not call me, because y'all know I got, our family. You call me at a certain time, you're gonna hear dog barking and family, and I don't feel like talking to you. And then I don't feel like answering your dumb text message too. Anyway, don't get me started on that because I get real mean when it comes to stuff like that or whatever. They can just go to the site. But I like the integration of it keeps track of how much I made today, how much I made this month, how much I made this quarter, which type of service that I have gets booked the most. Did I have a drop in whatever? And then I can send out push notifications to my clients if I'm out of town or I need to reiterate a policy. I can go on their website, type it up, and push it out to all my clients or whatever. So I love that because it kind of sets a barrier in between me and their client where they ain't just texting me all the time, because clients sometimes they can get a little out of line.
Man, quit talking about us,
just put it
man.
like that. I'm sorry, man. Y'all text us at 2:00 in the morning. Hey man, you gonna be in the shop tomorrow?
No, I can't.
I will, but I ain't finna tell
2
you
o'clock
right
in the
now.
morning, I'll be asleep. So
I done got text messages, especially if they feel like they got a dire emergency where they got to have a haircut tomorrow.
Right.
I'm like, man, when I answer you, I'm gonna text you because you text me after 10 p.m. and I'm gonna text you because you trying to get in a spot that don't exist. And I because my thing is, if you're gonna do all that to me, I'm gonna hit you with a price where I actually want you to say no, but if you don't say no, I'm cool with taking that money from you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The reason I asked that,
I like them.
The reason I asked that, man, is because, like I said, it's a conversation that we have in here. And while I use the cut myself, I've been using the cut for about 2 years, and I get emails through them because I treat the cut the same way I treat social media, and it's propelled me so high on their platform that I'm reaping a lot of benefits from being on the cut. But while I like the conveniency of it, I like the diversity of it, I have this burning sensation in the back of my mind that, unlike Acuity, which I'm getting to in a second, with the cut, Booksy, Square, and Squire, I feel like I'm building my house on rented land because I don't own those platforms. I don't own the updates to those platforms. I don't own the ability to manipulate those platforms to better service me. I have to wait for them to see a need to change something and hope that it benefits me and what I'm trying to accomplish. So I've been looking heavily into Acuity because, like you said, it has that customization where you can make that as close to having your own website without paying somebody to build out your website and paying those annual fees to maintain it. So I'm kind of tossed up right now between having a website built for the shop that incorporates booking for everybody in the shop through a portal at the shop, where we can benefit 100% from every person that comes in these doors and shops with us, versus the cut where I feel like you're constantly in a competition with everybody because everybody is available to it. It's great that people find you, and if you use it right, you'll be found first. But again, like I said, I got this burning feeling right here. Every time I use it or we talk about it with somebody, I feel like I'm building my house on rented land.
You know what?
Beauty is definitely like it integrates with everything. Like I use PayPal, I use Square as well, and I also use CashApp, but I don't have my CashApp connected with Acuity. So what mine does is, like, you have to pay a deposit to get a spot with me. So once you book your deposit, but I got a lot of people that pay me up front. So once it's paid, like I said, they can pay their deposit and they can pay the rest of the cash when they get there, or they can. Majority of the people pay. They go ahead and pay it full out. So Acuity allows. It does all that. It gives you the opportunity to do all that. You can set how much you want them to deposit. You can, like I said, you can allow it to where they have to pay full cut before that. Like everything, it allows you to be you, and that's really why I gravitated towards my my woman, she's a nail tech, and she's a professional nail tech, and she kind of, I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot of the things about business period from her, and she put me on the queue. That I thought about the Booksy. I actually thought about the cut. My bad. And I was gonna do that, and she put me on the queue, and she showed me how to update my web page and everything. Like, it allows you to make your page exactly how you want it, like exactly what you want to put on it. The push buttons and this. You can even upgrade it to where, and like, what's the average? Like, not to get in y'all business, what do you pay monthly for the cut?
$20.
I pay $15 on the base plan, and it does everything for me. Does everything. You can upgrade for the next, I think it's $25, and it allows you to do what they call like double scheduling, where you can book certain appointments on these days. Like, for instance, if you're in another location, you can book for these days here, these days there. You know what I'm saying? It allows you to have basically like a double life on it. And it has a lot of different added things to add on. But the base plan is really all you need. Like, the $15 is all you need, because it does everything. Like, it does everything, and it don't put you in a situation, a category, like you said, with other people. Like you said, somebody might be looking for you, and might see somebody and be like, I think I'm gonna try him. It puts you in the category of your own. When they come to look for you, they coming to find you, and you own it.
Yeah.
And it goes anywhere. Like, my website, I got Acuity connected to my website. I got it connected to my Instagram. I got it connected to Facebook, all my social media platforms. So if you're trying to book me, boom, you click, send you link, and send you straight to my booking info. When once you go to my booking info, you're there, and it allows you to book an appointment from wherever you see me.
Right. That's what's up.
Definitely agree with what you're saying as far as the rented space with any booking site. As far as I'm concerned, like, the only time you outside of that realm is when you build your own website, and it's, you know what I'm saying, that's straight to you. But like, I know Squire is normally like $100 a month at base level.
God damn.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But this the thing though. This thing about the $100 a month. For me, I'm individual, so I would be paying that if I wasn't processing those payments. But then also, if I had a shop and I wanted to add other barbers, because most of them, when you have a shop, when you're individual using that particular app, is one price. When you're using that app where you got a shop and you got other people under there and all of that, then that's a whole nother monster, and it's a different price. But Squire, $100, whenever I pay that $100, because if I switch and I open a shop, I already got that taken care of. I don't have to switch plans or anything like that. And I like with Squire, I like the way Squire actually promotes some of the barbers.
Very well.
Like, Squire will big up those barbers. And I see Squire, they were like one of the first companies I saw that got in when it came to sponsoring, you know, different spaces when it came to the expos and stuff like that. And they just Squire had a different look than all of the other apps to me, or whatever. And then, of course, it was a peer-to-peer interaction. I went to Marcus Harvey's Barber Star weekend, and Squire was there. He's on Squire. A lot of my homies that was there were on Squire. And I looked into it, and I was like, because I was actually getting tired of Booksy. At that point, Booksy had started promoting barbers. It kind of I felt some type of way, because they were only trying to promote famous people, so to speak. And I'm like, do you understand that half of the Detroit barbers or Michigan barbers that's on Booksy right now are on Booksy because I did it, and because I told them about it, because they wasn't going by appointment in 2015 in Detroit. I caught a lot of flack for that, because barbers weren't going by appointment. So clients was like, appointment? What you mean? I can't just walk in? I was like, no. Then they started going by appointment. And it was like, dang, y'all promoting all of these famous people that got all these followers and stuff, but you ain't got no love. I actually talked to them, and they was like, well, we can give you a month free. And I was like, oh, okay. Y'all don't have no loyalty in y'all algorithm. That's okay. That's cool. I'll take my loyalty somewhere else where I feel a little more loyalized or whatever. And that's why I left. But at the end of the day, what a lot of people don't understand is the place where you're going to get the most visibility is Google still.
Absolutely.
Most of my clients will say, man, how'd you find me, man? I Googled Detroit Barber. And whether I was the first one that came up or they like my pictures the most, like when one of my clients does marketing on a big level, and he was like, hey man, you need to make yourself visible on Google way more. I know barbers who one of the barbers I look up to, he don't use none of them platforms. He just straight up use Google. He used his Google Calendar, and people search him on Google, and that's how he set his stuff. Because them calendars, like whether you use an iCal or a Google Calendar, if you got Android, you can still use it as an appointment-based system or whatever. I really would like to switch to just do that, because then I ain't got to pay nothing, but then that still makes more work for me to do individually, so to speak, that I don't feel like doing. But if I wanted to save money, it ain't even about saving money for me at this point, because I'm not paying. But if if that happened, I would put that time in and do it that way, and then not really even have to mess with the other companies.
Facebook actually has a appointment. You can set up appointments on there, and they do it for free.
As long as you got a business account. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Facebook has one. You can set up a business page, and you can set up book me through Facebook for free, absolutely free.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, y'all brothers, man. Hey,
them booking apps took over. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just, you know.
As we're winding down, I do have a question. As I watch you guys' progress, how you market, you can tell that you're intentional about how you market and who you're marketing to, premium services and whatnot. I'm just curious, because we're all in different locations. What do you guys charge, and how do you base how much you charge per haircut or for your services? If you don't mind me asking.
Y'all. Go on, give it up.
I don't.
If you want me to edit it, I'll edit it.
Man.
But we just.
I don't mind. It's a big topic in my city, man, because I'm in a very small market, and a lot of guys that told me I wasn't going to be able to get to the point that I am, they are extremely upset that I got to that point. But my base haircut is $50.
Okay.
Start.
Okay.
I have a service that goes up to $150, and a house call is $250.
Okay.
So,
what's the population in Murfreesboro? I know you're right by Nashville, right?
Yeah, well, it's about 45 minutes away from Nashville.
Okay, so it's 45. Okay, I didn't know it was that far. Okay, what's the population? I'm just curious.
If I had to say, man, it's okay. The only way I could put it in reference is, okay, you got Chicago and then you got Riverdale. Murfreesboro is like Riverdale.
Okay.
It's a city that's growing, but it's not near as big as the Nashville and Smyrna and Laverne and all that. Okay. If I had to put a number on it, I would say something around 50,000-60,000 people, maybe.
Okay. All right.
Come on, Ayo. Give it up.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm about like him. Like my base starts at 50. It started around 50. Like you said, sir, I have services they go from 100 to 150. Okay. Like house calls, like you said, you got to be 200, but like you got to come with it. Like I can't, if I'm coming to you, taking time away from my family, like you gotta pay me. You gotta pay me.
Absolutely. What about you, Suge? Just the basic. I know you do, the big with the hair units and everything, but just the basic, your base point.
My basic is $70. Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. I thought you was gonna say free at first, like he's at the Salvation Army.
No, Doctor, the base is over.
Okay. So
my base is 50, and I'm probably gonna go up at some point this year. My base includes the cut. It includes the wash, razor line, a mini facial that I fashion and whatnot, because I always feel like, especially when you get up into the higher prices, my biggest thing is no matter how high your price is, I never want a client to be able to leave and say, man, he charged a lot and it wasn't worth it.
Okay.
Right.
I don't have a problem with you complaining about me being high.
Okay.
Long as you don't feel like it wasn't worth it.
Worth it, right.
I'll take your man. He high, but man, because I got a whole nother mindset as it pertains to pricing and the theory behind that type of stuff. I don't look at barbers when it comes to that type of stuff. I look at
Say
big
that
business.
to part two. Say
You
that
look
to
at what?
part two.
Yeah.
Say
There
that for
you go.
part two, because you already said that we was gonna have a part two. So
Yeah.
we can say that for part two. And my barber, he got a sign that say he going up. So how much you finna start charging?
Tax them niggas, mine.
All right. So base, just with the area, 40, 45.
That's what you're going up to?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, with the tip, I already gave you that. So okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny, and I
Prices
asked,
diverted.
because it's a small area, but man, it's like pulling teeth. And I have a couple, I have people that, most of my clients already pay me more than that, but just the base. But it's pretty interesting in this area. And like I said, it's an interesting area as far as the industry is concerned. So I'm kind of like, sure, because you got some barbers think that, the protocol should be you call other barbers, and kind of get an idea of, so it's all, but we're not all doing the same thing, right?
Everybody
So,
shaking their
you know what I'm saying?
absolutely
Right.
not.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
outdated philosophy, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just became an ambassador for them.
I'm
For who?
praying
What's
for you,
up, man?
Reverend.
Congratulations, bro.
For who?
Appreciate that. Anti-broke barbers club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah, man.
Appreciate
It's interesting. So I always like to be able to reference, because I had a long time friend, and I'm a text y'all. Y'all gonna fall out laughing. I'm a copy it and text this article to you. So I don't know when it was, but one of my buddy Reese.
Okay.
So, he just get his beard lined up, he bald head. And I told him I was going up. And man, this dude, before he came to his next appointment, he copied me. He created, and he didn't create, but he found some article, just the base prices on a national scale, and it goes state to state. But you got pictures, it's all scissor cuts with white barbers, no detail.
Right.
And I'm laughing.
$12 service, $8 for the beard.
You know what I'm saying? Idaho, $13 for a full haircut, and I'm laughing at him, and so we start pulling up Facebook, looking at some of the prices of, just barbers in different areas. But I'm just always curious in different areas. And
One thing that goes into that, man, that I had to train myself to stop doing is stop allowing clients to determine what my value was.
Absolutely.
I for a long time when I first started, man, I came all the way down from free haircuts. And when I went up to $7 haircuts, I thought I was doing something. Then when I started getting 10 and 15, I thought I was doing something. 20 and 25. The average rate where I am is around $25 to $35. Is what you're going to find in most shops in my area.
Right.
So when I started to question the logic that went behind that, I started to understand that that's exactly what guys were doing. Right. They were allowing the clients to come in and kind of dictate to them what their value was. Right. And they was also calling around to their barber homies and finding out what they're charging and pricing it around about so that they can quote unquote stay competitive with the price. But what I started to do was adjust my focus. I took my focus away from trying to be competitive with the prices that's in my area. And I started to put my focus in being unlike anything that's offered in my area.
Absolutely.
When you come into my shop, I guarantee you an experience. I guarantee you a quality environment. I guarantee you can bring your children in here and not have to worry about no mess. I guarantee that you come in here, it's going to be clean. It's going to be sterile. It's going to be comfortable. The lighting is going to be right. The music is going to be respectful. Right. I guarantee that my bathrooms are going to be clean. I guarantee that these clippers not going to leave bumps on your neck. Right. I guarantee that the service that you got the last time you got is going to be identical to this time when you get it. Right. So with that being my focus, I put my focus on quality. Right. And that made me realize my value superseded what the people were doing around me because they were just doing good haircuts, trying to stay competitive in their price. I was trying to provide a service and demand what my service was representing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what's up. That's what's
Well,
up.
y'all,
we've been at it for a minute.
Almost 3 hours on the recording. So
we're gonna chop and screw this one.
We got some reels coming, y'all. And again, man, like the love y'all show when we first started.
And even now, just to be on here for 3 hours, man.
Yeah,
you know,
just
it feel like I'm just chopping it up with some of my guys. You know what I'm saying?
Man, like
and I greatly appreciate that, because like you just said, you know, when you set a standard and you do something different, being in a small community, it's not necessarily accepted. You know what I mean? And I was that guy who always cut, but I worked in the school district. I coached basketball, so it wasn't full time. So when I jumped off the porch full time, I'm like, I'm going all or nothing. And so
absolutely,
I can't have this same type of camaraderie with a lot of guys in my same area, and I'm born and raised, and I done grew up with these guys. You know what I mean? But then when they see you doing something different for whatever reason, I think for some people, not all, it becomes a competition. You know what I mean? And I'm not, it's everybody can get money. We can all get money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I love to chop it up with guys that are trying to grow, that are influencing and inspiring me. And I'm learning from y'all.
Yeah,
y'all
gave us some
age,
game, man.
You know
Y'all
what I'm
gave us
saying?
some game too.
I'm learning from you guys, man.
We are learning from each other.
You know, man, I greatly appreciate
iron sharpens iron.
Man, no doubt.
Yep.
I greatly appreciate it, man. Just taking time out with, you know, your families and whatnot, man, just to sit here and chop it up, man. And so I greatly appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
I continue to be in touch with you guys. Also, AO, send me that booking app that you used. Text that information to me if you don't mind.
I got you.
Okay. And I will definitely be in touch. Like I said, my man gonna chop and screw, and y'all done taught us something. I'm gonna stay on his back. We're gonna take a different approach.
We finna bump these
because
reels
we definitely think we're providing a platform to celebrate what it is that we do, man. You guys are intelligent, you know what I'm saying, individuals. You're more than barbers. You're well spoken.
They pay their taxes.
And for real, man, people on a much larger scale, and not even barbers, can learn from this platform, because this is what we choose to do. This is the gift that we've been handed, but it also is relevant in so many other areas, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So greatly appreciate it, man. Man, from the heart, man. Y'all have a wonderful evening, man, and I'll be in touch with you guys.
No doubt, bro.
Less, man. Y'all be safe, bro. Hey, I'm gonna send you that address too. I keep forgetting to send it to you.
Send me the address and the size. And I'm looking, man, I swear to God, we were on our way. My man was coming with me, and I was opening up a shop, man. I was going through some things. We was on our way on the road, man, and then I had a little issue. Had to take my car last May to the dealership, and didn't feel like dealing with it, and didn't make that trip to Nashville. But man, my plan is for us to be there.
Definitely.
Okay. All right, I appreciate y'all. Look at the little guy.
All right.
Say hi.
That just made me miss my daughter, man. I'm finna go home.
All right, y'all, man.
I cut my way out podcast.
Hard times, my mom had to do it all. Working 2 jobs to provide while I pursue the ball. Hoop dreams, no problem doing my own thing. Stepped in the world to get a win for the home team. Lace the sneakers for the crowd in the bleachers. This might get away from the lesson life teaches, but 5'9" don't follow the league guideline. Heart of a champ, but I gotta tuck my pride now. Off the college for the knowledge, try my hand at math. But one call from back home really changed my path. My firstborn, now I got a mouth to feed. Told the Southeast I got a whole new route to lead. Young father, odd jobs, every day is real. Turn to the streets to try to eat or maybe pay a bill. Not proud of it, but I got it cooking good. But prison time on the mind wasn't looking good. I can't afford the price, so I tried the corporate life. Something wasn't sitting right, every night I'm tossing light. They don't appreciate all my hard work, so I went ahead and jumped, let the Lord work. Beer culture 2020, yeah, we taking over. From the Clippers to the hoodies that be draping over. I put the Clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play out. Hoping that it pay out. Trying to cut my way out. Yeah, I put the Clippers in my hand. I got a whole different plan. I gotta see how this play my way out. Tryna cut my way out. Tryna cut my way out.